Right, you can hear me? We'll just keep it on the court for the pregame because we only got 13 minutes, so. Yeah, if he shows up. Is he there? Yeah, he's there now. Okay. Make sure he keeps it on the green. Just make sure he keeps it on green. He doesn't have to do it now as long as he's got it when he starts.
Test.
Yep.
Make sure you turn the knob down. And then just turn it back up when Dave's doing this thing.
Pass this to Dave, please. Thank you.
Live from the John A. Barato Center on the campus of East Chicago Central High School, RRSN.com in conjunction with Regional Radio Sports presents the 2015 and 16 high school basketball season in Northwest Indiana, where this evening, in a great matchup here in the region, the East Chicago Central Cardinals host the Merrillville Pirates. Good evening, everybody. Mike Knezovich along with Chris Adzia and Ryan Knezovich to bring you all the exciting play-by-play action in this matchup between the Cardinals and the Pirates. The Chicago Central Cardinals, winners of 5 consecutive ball games, come in with a mark of 5-1. The Merrillville Pirates rated number 2 in the latest Class 4A poll, and they come in with a mark of 5-0. I want to thank all the folks that are making tonight's broadcast possible here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports for the 2015 and 16 season. They include State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Also by ArcelorMittal, guiding the evolution of steel and creating opportunities in the industry to redefine excellence and transform tomorrow. Also by Scapel Buick GMC, located at 3209 West Lincoln Highway on Route 30 in Merrillville. Centier Bank, independently owned and operated, serving 44 Northwest Indiana locations. Also by the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. If you think you have what it takes, call 1-800-MARINES or log on to marines.com. By Albert's Diamond Jewelers of Cherville, Indiana. They've been in business for over 100 years, and simply they have the largest selection of brilliant diamonds in the Midwest. Teachers Credit Union, providing many products and services that can help keep your finances on track. Visit them online at tcunet.com. Also by Levin Tire. With 7 convenient Northwest Indiana locations, Levin Tire, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918. Also by Schwartz Rutz & Company, PC and accounting firm, located at East 86th Avenue in Merrillville. Horizon Bank. Did you know that Horizon Bank is a top 200 community bank as rated by U.S. Banker? Horizon Bank, exceptional service and sensible advice. Also by Christensen Chevrolet on 45th and Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Tech Federal Credit Union for a great rate and convenient terms on a vehicle, home, personal, and business loan. It's Tech Credit Union. We also want to thank our corporate partner of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball, and that's the Foundations of East Chicago, making a difference in people's lives and by believing in trust, accountability, honesty, integrity, and responsible stewardship. Check them out on the web at foundations-e-c.org. Tonight's game also being brought to you in part by Fife Funeral Home. on Indianapolis Boulevard in East Chicago. Family owned and operated since 1898. Also by attorney Lonnie Randolph on Columbus Drive in East Chicago. Calumet College of St. Joseph's, your university of choice for degrees in forensic science, restoration, ecology, exercise and sports sciences, and pre-professional life science on the web at www.ccsj.edu. By Automasters, an ASC certified repair shop on Calumet Avenue in Hammond. And we also want to welcome on board Sports Medicine Institute, located in Crown Point. I want to thank them for their terrific support, not only of our basketball coverage, but all our sports coverage throughout the 2015 and 16 school year. They're located on Mississippi Parkway in Crown Point, also on the web at StAnthonySMI.com. I bring in my broadcast partner, Chris Adzian. Chris, this is certainly one that a lot of folks you talked about earlier circled on the calendar out here this evening, and the crowd so far is not disappointed as well. A lot of electricity in the atmosphere tonight.
Lower Bowl is full. Pair of teams here, Mike, that are rated highly in Northwest Indiana here, and both coming in with 5-game winning streaks, as you mentioned, and this game is long overdue. The last matchup was 9 years ago, so this is truly a matchup that's long overdue, in my opinion.
Merrillville certainly with a great resume coming into this one, including a big win against Southport on the road to open the year, which opened a lot of eyes around the state.
Well, Southport was number 1 at the time. Merrillville first time out on the road in a tough environment with the 53-52 win. And if you look at these two schedules so far, East Chicago has played the tougher schedule. Their opponents are 23-18. Merrillville's opponents just 16-23. But on paper, most would think that Merrillville is a slight favorite.
We had an opportunity to sit down with both head coaches prior to today's ball game. TJ Lux taking over for Jim East, the legend over at Merrillville High School, and has certainly had some big shoes to fill over there. But he has really come into his own as a head coach. Of course, former player for Jim East that played down in the state championship game back in 1995 against the Ben Davis Giants in that thrilling championship game down there. And we had an opportunity to sit down with TJ and talk about this great start that the Bucks are off to this year.
TJ Lux from the Merrillville Pirates is going to join us here. And, Coach, congratulations on the great start so far in the campaign. Signature win against the Southport Cardinals early in the season, and you've continued on. Talk about the last time out against the Morton Governors and keeping that momentum going.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. You know, Morton is a good team. They've got some really good players, some guys who can really get hot and shoot the ball, and they're quick. They can get into the paint, attack the basket, and they did a really good job of that scoring-wise. So we had a little bit of a difficulty matching up. We gave 23 points in the first quarter, which is obviously an awful lot, but we settled down. We got into a nice rhythm, and then with some of our depth and versatility and kind of stuck with what we do, we were able to pull it out at the end.
What's the personality been in this ball club, both as far as the mental approach to the ball game as well as the preparation on?
We've had, being off last week is over a week of practice, so it was really good for us to kind of just be in the gym after a few games and regroup and focus on some things that we need to get better with. And so it was time really spent wisely for us, and hopefully some of that will show off tonight.
Coach, you got a lot of veteran leadership coming back, of course, with DJ, multiple sport athlete, Jarius, as well as a couple others. Let's talk about the other ones in the rotation here and how they're filling in to give you a nice solid 7 or 8.
Yeah, we have DJ and Jarius have done a great job being great seniors for us. Our 3A juniors that started pretty good too. Cameron Wilbon, Malik McMillan, and Jonah Jackson. Jonah's a really good shooter. You got to recognize where he's at all the time on the floor, so he does a good job keeping things spaced for us. Malik is a guy who's just improved by leaps and bounds. Sprouted up to 6'6". He's very versatile, big guy, strong guy, and really athletic and moves very well for his size. And then Cameron is just kind of a jack of all trades. We can play him in 5 different positions. He can do a little bit of everything. He's long, he's active, he's athletic. He can shoot it a little bit. He can put the ball on the floor, and he's could be our best passer. So it's to have that kind of versatility, and then to have Marcel Cherry coming off the bench. He started for us the last 2 years. He's a super dynamic player, really fast, really quick, and get to the rim pretty much against anybody. And then James Walters is the spark off the bench defensively. He just gets after it. He's really tough, hard-nosed player. Always wants to guard the other team's best player. And then Johnny Bernard, sophomore, Mitch Ward, a junior. We've got some guys who can do some things and create some matchup difficulties, and it gives me a lot of options.
Today's broadcast of Cardinals basketball is brought to you in part by the Foundations of East Chicago. Whether on the court or in the community, the Foundations of East Chicago is committed to improving the quality of life for all East Chicago residents. We demonstrate the commitment through our scholarship programs, through financial support of local institutions like food pantries and churches, and by providing leadership and advice to make our community the best that it can be. For more information, please visit our website at www.foundations-e.c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-EC. Chris?
Centier is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success, not merely through business, but through philanthropy that extends throughout the communities it serves. As a family-owned bank, Centier stands firmly behind its not-for-sale promise, pledging to the families, businesses, and communities of Indiana that it will continue to preserve independent hometown banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank, member FDIC.
What are going to be some of the keys to victory tonight?
Well, certainly we can't let them get going in transition. I mean, when they get the ball out of the net, they like to fly up the court. We have to make sure we take that away. Limit their athleticism, their second and third opportunities. And, of course, we know that Damian Jefferson is one of the best players in the entire state. We can't let him get too crazy. We know he's going to get some points. We know he's going to score a little bit. Just got to continue to make things difficult for him and contain Cousinard, another great shooter for them, a guy who can really score. So they definitely have some weapons on the team, and hopefully we'll be up to the challenge.
Always appreciate the time, Coach. Best of luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Our keys to the game are brought to us by Christensen Chevrolet. Visit Christensen Chevrolets during their giant model year-end sales event and get from $1,000 to $5,000 cash back on selected Chevy models, including the 2017 Spark, Sonic, Cruise, and City Express. Ask about their 0% APR financing for 72 months and no payments for 90 days on selected models. Christensen's also offers a $500 discount for active and retired military personnel. It has a large commercial truck department along with an accredited body shop. Proudly serving you since 1951, Christensen Chevrolet, located at 9700 Indianapolis Boulevard in Higham. The phone number is 888-999-9141. That's 888-999-9141. And the website is christensenchevy.com. Chris?
This spot is sponsored by Swartz, Retson & Company, a certified public accounting firm serving both businesses and individuals in Northwest Indiana over the last 80 years. Located in Merrillville, Swartz Retson has a staff of over 30 professionals, making it the largest CPA firm in Northwest Indiana. Swartz Retson specializes in audits, reviews, and compilations, tax planning and preparation, accounting services, business and personal financial planning, business valuations, and other requested engagements. Thanks for considering the professionals at Swartz Retson for your tax, accounting, and assurance needs.
Welcome back here to pregame coverage here at the John A. Barato Center. Pete Turkovich, the head coach of the Cardinals, is going to join us here. And, Coach, congratulations on the win last night against Indianapolis Crispus Attucks. I thought a lot more consistency in that ball game all throughout the four quarters. Give us your analysis of what you saw in both offense and defense last night.
Well, I think that, again, we're going to see a lot of zone defenses. And it was a good test for us because I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed how athletic Crispus Attucks was. I was really impressed, and they look like they're young kids. They're going to be good in another year, if not at the end of this year in the 3A division. So I'd like to give them a little credit. Again, we're going to have to learn how to play against the zone defense, and every time a team zones us, we're getting better. We're finding out ways to beat the zone, and it's just a work in progress. We've only played 6 games, and I like the improvement so far.
Last night you compared some of the athleticism of Damian Jefferson to Etuan Moore, and certainly mission accomplished on that baseline move for that dunk. I mean, I know you're old school just like me, but that brought the crowd out of their seats.
Well, no, I like that play. I like every time he did. I just don't like the muscle man pose afterwards. That's all I don't like. But no, he can do that. He can do that again if he wants.
And now it's time to honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Bright
Again, special thanks to all of our men and women fighting for our freedom each and every day. And now we're going to go ahead and send it down to Dave Lang, the public address announcer here at the John A. Barato Center, and he will give us tonight's starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my pleasure to announce the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Pirates of Merrillville High School. At one guard, number 3, Jonah Jackson. At the other guard, number 5, DJ Wilkins. At one forward, number 23, Cameron Wilbon. At the other forward, number 25, Malik McMillan. And at center, number 35, Jarius Stevens. The Pirates are coached by head coach TJ Lux, assisted by Bo Patton, Bojan Jojanovic, and Michael Holden. And now the starting lineups for your East Chicago Cardinals. At one guard, number 1, Keyshawn Lewis. At the other guard, number 10, Elion Stone. At center, number 4, Charlie Cleveland. At the other forward, number 5, Jermaine Cousinar. And at forward, number 23, Damian Jefferson. The Cardinals are coached by head coach Peter Turgovich, assisted by Jim Margis, Judah Parks, John Moskovich, and Sam Daniels.
Boy, if that doesn't get your juices flowing, I don't know what will, Chris, said to you.
You got to be ready to play in a game like this. This is why you play the game of basketball. Great atmosphere, 2 marquee teams here in Northwest Indiana.
Merrillville Pirates come out dressed in their purple roadies with the black numbers and white trim around the numbers. The white trim down the side of the trunks. They'll be moving from right to left on your laptop electronic device. East Chicago, red, white, and blue, moving in the opposite direction as Damian Jefferson gets set to tip it off here against the Merrillville Pirates. DJ wins the tap, and we are underway. Great crowd out here tonight, an electric atmosphere here at the Barato Center.
Officiating crew tonight, Ray Dix, Christian Flores, and Daniel Escalante.
DJ in the twilight zone, little drop step, got cut off nicely on defense. They kick it back outside for the 3, which is off the mark by Stubbs, and the rebound comes down to the Pirates. They bring it down quickly into the lane and have some trouble, and they turn it over right off the get-go, as that time number 35, Jarius Stevens, lost a handle.
Now here's the man-to-man that Coach Turkovich wanted to see as Merrillville starts in man.
Cousinard's 3 way off the mark as both teams cold from the outset. The multiple sport athlete DJ Wilkins, the quarterback on the football team, brings it right through the midcourt circle. Bounce pass now at the left elbow. It's picked up over there by Cameron Wilbon. Left side again to Wilkins as DJ is guarded man-to-man by Cousinard. Nice through the lane. Kicks it back out for the weak side three-pointer, which took the paint off the rim. The rebound comes down and put up and in by Cameron Wilbon.
Well, Merrillville comes in with good size. They're not huge. Biggest man is 6'6", and they don't have anybody in their starting lineup under 6'2", Mike.
Now Cleveland gets the screen up high. DJ at the top of the key just inside the volleyball line. He'll pop the tray and gives East Chicago a 3-2 lead. And we have our first of what could be many lead changes tonight. DJ comes back the other way. Rejected by Damian Jefferson.
Jefferson has 5 block shots in the last 2 games. You see a trend in this Cardinals ball club. They start games shooting a lot of threes. They didn't attempt a three-pointer in the last 11 minutes of last night's ball game.
East Chicago playing man-to-man underneath their own basket. Nice overplay by Kuznard, and that forces the three-pointer that goes over the backboard from Jarius Stevens, a 6'4 senior for the Bucks.
Put on a little beef in the upper body since last year, now a senior.
Now they're going to open up the bleachers behind the basket that Merrillville's going at, as we've got some people with SRO right now in the balcony. Jefferson now up high with a shake and bake move, pops it from about 12, left it short, got the rebound, which is also short. Rebound tapped over to Lewis, and he banked it up and in, and a 5-2 Cardinal lead.
Keyshawn Lewis at 6'3" and a lot of length in the starting lineup tonight for Coach Turkovich with this taller starting lineup for Merrillville.
2 minutes gone in the opening stanza. Merrillville trailing by 3 with the pumpkin as Stevens now, crossover dribble, cut off by Cleveland. Now Wilkins, he'll pop it over to Kuznard, trying for the tie, couldn't get it to go. Keyshawn the rebound for the Cards. He's going to push it all the way to the rack, banked it up, no good. Charlie got the rebound, couldn't get it to go. They're really letting them play as that time. Number 10, Leon Stubbs is way over the back, Chris. It looks like it's going to be no blood, no foul tonight.
Yeah, a little pushing and shoving here in between the play as well, between Charlie Cleveland and one of the Merrillville Pirates down low.
5-2 lead for the Cards. They've got the basketball with 5:33 remaining in the opening quarter. Kuznard now dribbling through the defense on the play with a crossover dribble and a foul. Going to be called on Malik McMillan, the 6'6 junior for the Bucks.
Foul is on number 25,
Boy, Merrillville certainly looking like a physical team out there, Chris.
Yeah, they really do, to go along with their athleticism. Good strength. And again, decent size in the starting lineup.
Keyshawn will put up a three-pointer way short. Long rebound comes down to the Merrillville Pirates, where Wilbon tried to go coast to coast, and they're going to call a push down low on the Cardinals.
Now you're going to see missed three-point opportunities early in possessions for both of these teams will lead to breakout opportunities for their opponent.
Pete Turkovich wants a timeout. We're going to keep it right here as the foul is on DJ. And Fife Funeral Home, located at 4201 Indianapolis Boulevard in East Chicago, has been family-owned and operated in Northwest Indiana since 1898. They offer cremation and burial services, and they also provide for funeral pre-arrangement and insurance needs. The phone number for Fife Funeral Home in East Chicago, 219-398-3210.
Find out why Scapel Buick GMC in Merrillville has been named the Dealer of the Year the last 5 years. Get $10,000 off select 2015 Sierra 1500 series trucks and special lease offers on select Buick models for under $199 per month. Experience the Buick difference at Scapel Buick GMC, located at 3209 West Lincoln Highway, just 2 miles west of I-65 on US 30. For more information, call 219-769-6381 or go online at scapelbuickgmc.com.
Wilbon triggers inbounds to McMillan. Now back to the top of the key to Wilkins. 5:15 remaining here in the first quarter. East Chicago up by a score of 5-2 on defense. Jarius Stevens now on Cleveland. Back to the top of the key, almost out of the reach there. J squared, Jonah Jackson. Now Wilbon. Left elbow comes up with the shot on the play, and he got the shooter's touch. He's got all 4 Buck points.
Well, at 6'4", he was able to go up over the top on that spin move of Leon Stubbs at only 6 feet.
And East Chicago is going to go with a backcourt violation here as Keyshawn got caught in between there for the first miscue of the evening.
Yeah, that's a bad
for the
turnover
Cards
there, Mike. Excuse me. No pressure being put on the ball that time for the Cards, and they turn it over.
Certainly don't like those unforced errors out there, especially in a game of this magnitude.
Especially right out of the timeout as well.
Right side it goes to Stevens. Again, East Chicago staying in man-to-man defensive pressure. They go down in the corner. They're trying to post up down low on the play right now. Good job of overplay down low by Stubbs as he's given up about 3 or 4 inches down low. Little runner in the lane is left short, and a two-handed tomahawk dunk by Malik McMillan off the miss from Jonah Jackson.
Giving East Chicago a little taste of their own medicine, that offensive possession on the offensive board.
A second lead change of the ball game is Cleveland trying to get the offensive rebound off the miss there by Stubbs. Stevens comes back the other way, and now that's 2 fouls now on Damian Jefferson, and it gets Tylee Rimmer, the 6'1 junior, off the bench for Coach Turkovich.
That brings Merrillville's faithful to their feet as well, picking up that second foul. And there you see a missed opportunity from 3 leading out to a breakout.
James Walters, a 6-foot senior, will be coming in off the bench for TJ Lux, as well as Marcel Cherry, a veteran for this team, 5'11 and a senior who's seen a lot of the varsity wars the last couple years for Merrillville. We're halfway through the first quarter, 6-5 lead for the Bucks. James Walter will trigger the inbounds pass. East Chicago playing zone underneath their own basket. They go to Cherry. He goes up on his numerical counterpart. Head and shoulder fake by Wilkins. Took the paint off the rim on that one, and a reach-over foul is going to be called on Merrillville as they got Stevens way over the top.
I think they're going to call basket interference as Jarius's fingers got caught in the net with the ball still on the rim.
And Coach Turkovich wanted a foul too, but he's not going to get it.
That's a good call. They
are certainly letting them play tonight. 6-5 lead for Merrillville, 3:43 remaining in the quarter, and now a reach-in foul going to be called here on Stevens. That'll be his first and the team's second.
And silly reach-in foul that time by Stevens well out on the floor. They doubled off Kuznard that time. I don't know if that's a good idea for the Pirates. He's one of the couple guys for this East Chicago ball club that could fill it up from outside.
Also, Rimmer filled it up the last time he played. Now DJ drives the baseline, and he ran out of real estate. The East Chicago faithful wanted a blocking foul, but they didn't get it.
That's 2 possessions in a row there. Clearly, Merrillville's strategy is to double Damian Jefferson when he gets the ball along that sideline. They're just running people at him.
3:35 remaining in the first quarter. Merrillville up by 1 with the ball. Stevens got his pocket picked by Rimmer, but he got it back and put it up and in. The senior gets on the scoring column. His $3 now have dented the score sheet. Merrillville's biggest lead at 3 at 8-5. 3:18 remaining in the opening quarter. Kuznard tries to cut it to 1. Rimmer couldn't get it to fall off the offensive putback, and now Wilkins comes back over to Cherry. A little shake and make move. Took it inside, rejected on the play, but then a foul by Rimmer on the way up, and Stevens will go to the line to shoot 2.
Albert's Jewelers is Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland's oldest and most trusted jeweler. Trust our family to offer you the highest and best prices for your unwanted jewelry, gold and silver coins, watches, and diamonds of all sizes. You'll be surprised how much it's worth at Albert's. We also buy gold and offer loans on jewelry up to $100,000. Albert's Jewelers has 2 locations to serve you at 711 Main Street in Schererville and South Lake Mall in Merrillville. For more information, call the Merrillville store at 219-769-1976. The Schererville location at 219-322-2700. Or visit their website at www.albertsjewelers.com.
Edwin Wilson comes in now for Jefferson with those 2 fouls, so we're certainly going to have the East Chicago depth tested early in this one. The second foul shot was no good. And now Coach Turkovich, I think, wants to verify that Damian Jefferson has 2 personal fouls. Attorney Lonnie Randolph supports his community by sponsoring a portion of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball on regional radio sports and RRSN.com. Attorney Randolph specializes in trial, criminal, civil, personal injury, and property issues. His law office is located at 1919 East Columbus Drive in East Chicago. For more information and to schedule an appointment, give Lonnie a call at 219-397-5531. I'm assuming that's what it's all about because somebody was holding up 2 fingers, Chris.
Yeah, I could only imagine. I can't hear real well down there, but Coach Turkovich not real happy right now.
9-5 deficit facing the Cardinals. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter as Lewis goes with the web up high. Now they get it back over to Keyshawn. Nice through the lane, put it up and in. Nice move there by the junior. He's got 4.
Let's see if Merrillville tries to trap Kuznard now when he touches the ball. They did that time against the sideline with Jefferson out of the game.
Cherry goes into Stevens, took it in over Cleveland and scored.
Cherry is with a strong upper body, great body control. Took the contact now on a couple of occasions and still able to score.
11-7 lead for the Bucks. 2:24 remaining here in the opening stanza. We got a great crowd on hand. Now Cleveland got his pick and Picked up by Walters, down into Stevens, and they're going to call a foul on the floor. And Edwin Wilson right there saved himself not only a basket, but a potential three-point play for Merrillville.
And Charlie Cleveland better be careful, too. He's about to pick up a foul. A lot of talking in between plays here and a lot of chatting going on right now on the floor.
Jamar Adams, a 6'2 junior, will come in replacing Rimmer. In the East Chicago lineup, Jamar had some significant playing time in the game last night against Crispus Attucks. 11-7 lead for Merrillville, 2:16 remaining in the quarter. They've got the basketball as Stevens now will bring it back out to DJ Wilkins, and he traveled with the basketball. DJ forgot that he wasn't on the gridiron that time.
Well, DJ Wilkins, the 6'2 senior and the quarterback of the football team, has played in many a big games, both on the gridiron and the hardwood.
Mitchell Ward, a 6'2 junior, will come in now for Coach Lux off the bench. The Stevens will get a blow. He's leading all scorers so far with 5 points is Jarius Stevens. 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. 11-7 lead for Merrillville. They go with a weave up high on the play to Wilson. Looking for Kuznot. Instead, Cleveland comes in there. He gets triple teamed. They're going to call a reach-in foul on Merrillville's number 5, DJ Wilkins.
Good call that time by Daniel Escalante as Wilkins came in from behind. Well, you see right away the quickness that Mitchell Ward, 6'2 and a junior, brings to the defensive lineup for Coach Lux.
Johnny Bernard, a 6'2 sophomore, now will come in for this deep Merrillville team as Wilkins will get a break. Doesn't look like right now, Chris, they lose a step at all off the bench.
Interesting thing is here you have James Walters at 6 foot, strong upper body. He was matched up against Charlie Cleveland last time they were in man.
Nice job by Kuznard to back in offensively there and bank it up and in off the left side to cut the Merrillville lead to 2. They're going to try to double it, but they couldn't get it to go. Wilson does the tightrope walk and comes down with the pumpkin and the rebound for the Cardinals. Now Jamar Adams got fouled on the play as he got the defensive player, Cameron Wilbon, up in the air and created the contact. Good job.
Foul number 23, Cameron Wilbon.
91 ticks of the clock remaining here in the opening stanza. 11-9 lead for Merrillville over East Chicago Central. Both teams trying to get their 6th consecutive win of the year. Kuznard now goes up and under on the play, and they're going to call the foul on the floor on Cherry. That'll be his first, and that will be team foul number 5 on the purple and black.
Thought maybe they'd give him 2 shots on that. It looked like he was in the act of shooting. Nice job by Kuznard to draw the foul once he realized the defender left his feet.
Based on my last few days' performance, Chris, I've given up on calling fouls. Now backing in and turning around with the jump shot is Kuznard. Couldn't get the shooter's touch as the rebound comes down to Bernard for Merrillville. 1 minute remaining in the quarter. Bernard pushes it up, goes off the right side, and getting stuck with the Samsonite on the far side for the Merrillville Pirates. Was a traveling violation there.
4th foul now, or 4th turnover, for Merrillville in this first quarter.
That was Wilbon that got caught with the extra shuffle step. Trying to set a screen up high now is Kuznard for Lewis. Jermaine now just inside the volleyball line in the twilight zone, guarded by Cherry. They go in the corner now to Wilson. He lost control, but Kuznard bails him out. Took it in strong and drew the foul. Jermaine will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Automaster supports their community by sponsoring a portion of today's game. They're located at 6817 Calumet Avenue in Hammond, and they're an ASC certified repair shop specializing in electrical, computer, brakes, shock repair, and tune-ups. Automasters also does towing. For more information and to schedule an appointment, give Automasters a call at 931-2702. We're right in your neighborhood.
Kuznard misses the front end. Merrillville's done a great job of spreading out these 16 fouls. Nobody with 2. Meanwhile, Damian Jefferson continues to ride the pine with 2 personals for Coach Turkovich. But tell you what, if you're East Chicago, you got to be pleased as punch right now, Chris, down by only 2.
You got to be happy. Kuznard's had a couple looks at the basket with Damian Jefferson on the bench, and you're going to need some scoring out of Jermaine if Jefferson's going to remain there for any time.
Now a foul going to be called on Wilson, and now that is finally 2 fouls on him. So both Wilson and Jefferson now with 2 personals. They've got 4 of the 5 team fouls between the 2 of them. 40 seconds remaining here in the first stanza. Merrillville with the lead of 1. They've led by as many as 3. Now they try to double down, and a good job defensively there on the reach-in by Kuznard. Alternate possession will stay with Merrillville, but number 5 doing a nice job defensively.
And Malik McMillan just got the ball away from his body a little bit, allowed Kuznard, who's ultra aggressive. We've seen some quick hands displayed by Jermaine this year.
Half a minute remaining now in the first stanza. With the basketball up high on the play is Johnny Bernard as Merrillville tries to spread him out here with 25 seconds remaining. TJ Lutz now. The ball is dribbled off the foot and stolen by Kuznard. They go down quickly, and Lewis actually tipped the ball away from his teammate Wilson in the corner.
That was intended for Wilson. Keyshawn Lewis just didn't create enough space in between the two on that fast break opportunity. Tough turnover there for the Cardinals.
4 points for Lewis, 3 apiece for Kuznard and Jefferson here in the first quarter. 5 points for Stevens, 4 for Wilbon, and 2 for McMillan for the Bucks. 8 seconds remaining as they take it in strong with the bank shot. Nicely done by Marcel Cherry. Now a steal at the buzzer, but time runs out on the play as the ball was stolen there by Ward, and that completes the first quarter of play. The score at the end of 8 minutes of action here at the Johnny Abarado Center, the Merrillville Pirates 13 and the East Chicago Central Cardinals 10. We're going to keep it right here and thank Calumet College of St. Joseph. It's your university of choice for academics and athletics. The 2016 and 15 basketball and wrestling seasons are currently in action. Also new in 2015 is the men's volleyball program, bringing collegiate volleyball back to the region. Crimson Wave Athletics supports over 330 student athletes who combine for a department GPA greater than a 3.0 cumulative. For more information about your future potential and upcoming spring enrollment, go to ccsj.edu.
Tech Credit Union can help you get the cash you need for home improvements, education costs, travel, and any other purpose. Unlike your home's equity, with the home equity loan featuring a 3.99 annual percentage rate, 7-year repayment term, and no closing costs. Best of all, with a fixed rate, your monthly payment won't change during your loan term. To learn more, visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call them at 800-276-TECH. That's 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Rates may change without notice.
So fresh 8 on the clock right now as the Merrillville Pirates lead East Chicago 13-10 at the end of the first stand. East Chicago 1 for 2 from the line in the first quarter. Cleveland now with a nice fadeaway jump shot, left it short. Wilson was trying to keep it alive, couldn't get it to go. The Bucks come back on the break. Wilbon shot off the back of the iron. Stevens' tip couldn't go. And the rebound down to the Cards. Lewis being very aggressive now, taking that ball down the floor. He was about 1-on-4 that time, and he drew the foul.
Yeah, he's excited getting a start tonight. Let's see who he called that on.
It's on Jonah Jackson, Chris.
With winter quickly approaching, it is it time for new tires? If so, stop by Levin Tire Center to receive up to $160 in tire rebates and find out why they've been named the best tire shop and best auto repair shop in the region for 7 years in a row. Levin's also has price match guarantee, so if you find lower price somewhere else, they will match it. Levin's has 7 convenient locations in Northwest Indiana. For more information, call 1-800-475-5005 or visit www.levintirecenter.com for valuable money-saving coupons. Levin Tire and Service Center, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918.
Lewis split the free throws, and now a reach-over foul is going to be called on the Cardinals. That'll be their 16th foul, and that is number 3 now on Edwin Wilson. No movement from the Chicago bench as the Cardinals stay within 2, Chris.
Lewis now with 5 points here in the early going. Doing a nice job on the offensive end.
Beautiful move there by Stevens, and he did a great job of avoiding the contact. He leads all scorers with 7. Merrillville's biggest lead now at 4, 15-11.
Well, he's had good body control going to the basket all night. Merrillville now in a high matchup 3-2.
Wilson from the corner, and he makes him pay with the tray.
Guess that's why he's still in with those 3 fouls. Coach Turkovich rolling the dice, and it pays off.
15-14 as the lead's cut to 1. DJ now up high against his numerical counterpart, Kuznan. Rejected by Jermaine. They come back the other way. Pass down to Lewis. He blew it, but the rebound is put up and in for an East Chicago Central leader.
Yeah, this is where the intensity picks up after a breakout. Look for good pressure here, this defensive trip for the Cardinals.
We talked about these runs that East Chicago's been able to go on throughout their storied history, and a nice move off the far side on the basket there by Wilbon. He's got 6. Now they're going to call a foul on the drive on the Cardinals.
Just great hesitation that time by Wilbon.
Mr. Escalante wants to get everybody down on the play. There's a foul is going to be called on Trayvon Smith. Trayvon's not on the floor. Hold on a second.
Jonah Jackson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For his second.
So he's got 2 now. First Buck with 2 fouls. So Edwin Wilson with the huge 3-pointer to give East Chicago the lead, and then the Bucks come right back themselves. The physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers of Franciscan St. Anthony Sports Medicine Institute, they offer professional level sports medicine and training for all athletes at all levels looking to return from an injury or improve performance. They're located at 12800 Mississippi Parkway in Crown Point. Give them a call at 219-662-5266. St. Anthony is also on the web at SMI.com. Wilson splits the free throws. We've got ourselves our first tie of the ball game. 17 apiece with 6:11 remaining in the opening stanzas. DJ goes in the corner. Jump shot by Wilbon is off the mark, and the rebound comes down to Wilson for the Cardinals. Back where we started from with 2 minutes gone here in the second stanza. Walters gets set to come back in the lineup for the Bucks. Kuznard got a half a step on the defense. His shot is off the mark as Wilbon comes down with the pumpkin, trying to beat the double team, and he does so. Drives right through the lane, kicks it off to the left side, and Stevens is going to get called, I believe, for a travel. Good call by the official there as he didn't get the basketball down quick enough.
Great call. You can't fault Stevens, though. Going to the basket strong. Did a nice job by getting himself set up there on the baseline.
Just needed to be a little bit more in control. Boy, that young man's got some leaps and some athleticism.
East Chicago doing just an absolutely great job, Mike, staying in this ball game with Damian Jefferson on the bench with those 2 fouls.
He really just kind of slowed it down a little bit, too, not getting too helter-skelter, running the half court here with 5:26 remaining in the first half and a tie.
1-3-1 now, this time down for Merrillville.
Cleveland spinorama move, and Ewok. Good double team by Wilkins along with McMillan on the baseline.
Now, Charlie Cleveland's forte is not putting the ball on the ground. Merrillville doing a nice job making him become a dribble penetrator.
Coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the first half of play is Marcel Cherry. We'll bring it over the midcourt stripe. Merrillville going from right to left on your laptop and electronic device in a 17-17 tie. Stevens now in the twilight zone. Left side free throw line extended. He left it short. Got his own rebound. Knifes in off the left side and got clobbered by Jamar Adams. And he will shoot a pair of free throws on Jamar's first personal. Attorney Lonnie Randolph supports his community by sponsoring a portion of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball on Regional Radio Sports and RRSN.com. Attorney Randolph specializes in trial, criminal, civil, personal injury, and property issues. His law office is located at 1919 East Columbus Drive in East Chicago. For more information and to schedule an appointment, give Lonnie a call today, 219-397-5531. So one more for Jarius Stevens. He's 2 for 3 for the line so far tonight. He's got 3 in the quarter, 8 in the ball game. And now gives Merrillville a 2-point lead. It's our 5th lead change of the evening. Left side now on the play to the newly inserted Stubbs. Over to Rimmer, and he threw it away. Walters got inside the passing lane, took it up strong, and drew the foul. Watch out, everybody down there, as one of the photographers for the local paper gets a face full of leather down there and comes up smiling about it. foul will be on Cleveland. And Pete Turkovich wants a timeout. We're going to keep it right here and thank some more of the folks that have made tonight's broadcast possible. This Cardinals broadcast is brought to you by the Foundations of East Chicago, an organization dedicated to supporting our community on and off the court. Through our academic scholarship programs, our grant programs, for local charitable institutions and leadership, we here at the Foundations of East Chicago pour our hearts into making a positive impact on our community. For more information, please visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-EC. 4:47 remaining here in the first half of play. And right now, Chris, Merrillville beating East Chicago down the floor in consistency.
The turnovers don't help. The missed outside shots lead to fast break points as well. East Chicago right now with 5 turnovers, and they're two of 6 from downtown. Both teams doing a decent job attacking the basket, especially Merrillville. Merrillville has had more quality looks and quality drives to the basket at this point.
So James Walters, a 6-foot senior, and he gets the front end. Boy, how in the world did they not call that in the act of shooting?
I thought they gave the foul to Allion Stubbs. Scoreboard had Charlie Cleveland up there for his first foul.
Left the second one short. Stevens got the rebound, and he traveled with the ball. Nice job there by Rimmer to create the 6th turnover on Merrillville.
4 offensive rebounds now for the Pirates. They're going to come with a little bit of pressure. 2-2-1 now against the Cardinals.
Coming up on the halfway part of the second quarter. Adams now in the backcourt, gets it over the timeline to Kuznard. He'll pop it from the left elbow, a little bit too far. Stubbs with a nice rebound attempt. He's able to keep it live to Charlie. Cleveland now spin around the move in the lane. He banked it up and in. Charlie Cleveland gets his first 2.
Great job by Cleveland creating space with wide elbows, as you want a big man to do.
Now Stevens at the left elbow, nice through the lane, took it up on Adams. He scored and he was fouled. Jarius Stevens, the hoop, the harm, the foul, and a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Jarius now with 11. It's just coming a little bit too easy on the offensive end for the Pirates.
The physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers of Franciscan St. Anthony Sports Medicine Institute offer professional-level sports medicine and training for athletes of all levels looking to return from an injury and improve performance. They are located at 12800 Mississippi Parkway in Crown Point, StAnthonySMI.com, and 219-662-5266 as Stevens completes the 3-point play.
He's now 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Damian Jefferson back in the ball game as well.
Kuznard the other way, couldn't get it to go. Now they go left side to Wilkins. He missed a wide open Stevens down low as DJ pulls down the rebound after a long absence on the bench. Turnover on the Cardinals. They bring it back the other way for the hoop by Marcel Cherry.
Jefferson just a little out of control, over anxious after sitting on that bench for about a quarter.
DJ now from the left elbow, left it way short. 3:36 remaining in the half as the Cardinals now face their biggest deficit at 6. Steven missed the bunny on the play, and now Merrillville will bring it back out and settle things down. So we'll see if they can knock into this lead now with DJ back on the floor, along with Kuznard, Rimmer, Cleveland, and Stubbs. Left-handed dribble drive on the play by Stevens. He gave it away. Picked back up by Jefferson to Rimmer. Down low for the layup to Stubbs.
Nice unselfish play that time by Rimmer.
7 turnover on the Bucks. That cuts the lead down to 4 now. 25-21 Merrillville. 2:53 remaining in the first half. They're trying to post Wilbon up down low on the shorter Stubbs. Backs in on the play, and they're going to call a foul down low on Elian. And that will send Merrillville to the line now on the double bonus situation.
Well, McMillan at 6'6" really wanted the ball. Stubbs only goes 6 foot. Nice recognition by the Pirates.
Financial support for this Cardinals basketball broadcast is provided in part by the Foundations of East Chicago. We're dedicated to helping our community through our grant programs, academic scholarships, and overall leadership initiatives. We have dedicated ourselves to uplifting, inspiring, and empowering all the residents of East Chicago. Moving together towards a bright future, the Foundations of East Chicago, we're in and on your corner. For more information, visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-EC. And taking the paint off the rim on the second one, so McMillan splits the free throws. He's got 3. 26-21 lead for Merrillville with 2:38 remaining in the half. Cleveland in the lane, up and under, banked it up and in as C Squared's got 4.
I like the way he's going to the basket here in this quarter.
Almost lost by Cherry in the lane. Now DJ got away with a travel. Break out the Samsonite on that one. And the rebound comes out to Walters for the deuce.
That's that Euro step now that's become pretty popular in basketball.
Boy, he went from the left elbow to about 2 feet from the rim without putting the ball on the rim. 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. East Chicago trailing by 5. Their biggest deficit equaled here. And now Rimmer cut to the basket and Kuznard threw it into the corner. Lewis will come back in replacing Rimmer. We still have not seen Trayvon Smith tonight. 5'10" and a senior, or Jason Corley.
Jonah Jackson, the 6'2 junior, averaging 7 points a ball game, back in for the Pirates.
They have their biggest lead equaled at 5, 28-23 as Cherry goes off the right side. Picks up a screen by Jackson. Jonah will pop it in the baseline, and he gets it for the three-pointer. J Squared, Jonah Jackson.
Fresh legs right in from the bench. Feeling it for 3.
DJ trying to get East Chicago going as he got fouled, taking it to the rack. And he will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws on the foul by Cameron Wilbon. Fife Funeral Home, located at 4201 Indianapolis Boulevard in East Chicago, has been family-owned and operated in Northwest Indiana since 1898. They offer cremation and burial services, and they also provide for funeral pre-arrangement and insurance needs. The phone number for Fife Funeral Home in East Chicago, 219-398-3210.
We've seen Jefferson do a pretty good job at the free throw line this year. Gets there often. Only with 4 points now in this game. Not that East Chicago's out of the game, but if they're going to get back into it, they're going to need some scoring from Jefferson and Jermaine Kuznard with only 5 points.
Nice rotation on the second one as DJ now has 5. He's had well over 20 points the last 2 ball games for the Cardinals. 1.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. East Chicago trailing by 6 as Wilson gets set to come back in for Coach Turkovich. Jonah Jackson out high now to DJ Wilkins. Man-to-man by East Chicago. Nice wraparound move there defensively by Jermaine Kuznard. And now Wilson will come back in to replace Jefferson. Good move here. You don't want DJ to get number 3.
If you get a stoppage of play and you have the ball, it'll be a good opportunity here in the next minute 17 to get him back in the game. But now on the defensive end, he did get him out.
Stubbs got burned on that one as Jonah Jackson now with 5 points off the bench this quarter. But balanced scoring by Merrillville. 6 players now in the scoring column. 1 minute. 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Cardinals trail by 8. He beat the double team as they go down on the baseline to Kuznard, and he drew the foul. And Jermaine will go to the line to shoot a pair. Today's broadcast of Cardinals basketball is brought to you in part by the Foundations of East Chicago. Whether on the court or in the community, the Foundations is committed to improving the quality of life for all East Chicago residents. We demonstrate the commitment through our scholarship programs, through financial support of local institutions like food pantries and churches, and by providing leadership and advice to make our community the best that it can be. For more information, please visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-EC.
Well, Kuznard now 1 of 3 from the free throw line. He was 1 of 3 last night as well against Crispus Attucks. He's able to get that one to fall.
6 points in the ball game now for the junior. That was the second foul on Wilkins. Both teams well over the double bonus limit. And let's see now if TJ with a 7-point lead takes the air out of the pumpkin here. Coming up on a half a minute now remaining here in the first half of play. Cherry with a hesitation move, tried to get it through Stubbs, and Elion comes up with the steal. Big defensive play there by the junior. And now it looks like Coach Turkovich wants to take the sands of the hourglass here and make sure that this deficit doesn't go beyond 7.
Well, you got to believe Jermaine Kuznard will get this final shot here for the Cardinals with 8 seconds remaining.
Jermaine now up high with the basketball at the left elbow, kicks it right side. Stubbs with a long three-pointer way off the mark. Charlie got the rebound, but he ran out of time. And that'll complete the first half of action here at the Johnny Barrato Center. The score here at the end of 16 minutes of action in East Chicago. The Merrillville Pirates, number 2 in Class 4A, 33, and the East Chicago Central Cardinals, 26. We will take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with our halftime stats and much more. You're listening to the Northwest Indiana Boys Basketball Game of the Week, live here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports, your ticket to the best seat in the house since 1992.
State Farm Insurance asked, what if your roommate, we'll call him Einstein, decides to microwave a metal mixing bowl full of cookie dough and sets your apartment on fire? State Farm has an agent for that. See your State Farm agent for auto, renters, frankly, all kinds of insurance. Call them today. In Portage, see Andrea Harbin at 6504 U.S. Highway 6. Phone Andrea at 762-5114. In Valparaiso, Sherry Warnke at 201 Northland Drive. Call Sherry at 465-0848. In Valparaiso, Dave Ross, 450 Lincoln Way, Suite 210. Call Dave at 464-3581. And in Dyer, Connie Bernardi, 1072 Joliet, US 30. Call Connie at 322-9959. Get to a better state with State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is
Looking to start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? Enroll in Steelworker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with a leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today.
Score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card that can help you take charge of those long-awaited projects or cover unexpected emergency needs. It not only comes with a low rate, but offers everything you need, including no annual fees, no balance transfer fees, easy cash advances at ATMs, and much more. Don't miss out on a good play. Take charge of those projects and score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card. Learn more and apply today at tcunet.com/credit cards.
Mike Knezovich, Chris Adzia, Ryan Knezovich back with you here at the Johnny Barrato Center. You've completed one half of Rock'em Sock'em Region basketball out here this evening. The Merrillville Pirates rated number 2 in 4A, leading the East Chicago Central Cardinals by a score of 33-26. East Chicago trailed at the end of the first quarter 13-10 as they played quite a bit of that first stanza without their potential Indiana All-Star Damian Jefferson, who sat out with 2 early fouls in the basketball game and was held to only 5 points here in the first half. Merrillville then outscores East Chicago Central 20-16 in the second stanza to take the lead 33-26. Chris Adzia, you got our first half numbers.
Numbers look this way, Mike. Both teams with 6 players in the scoring column. Merrillville with that 7-point lead. They had 2 8-point leads in that first half. They were led in scoring by Jarius Stevens, a 6'4 senior, had 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting from the free throw line. He had about 3 or 4 offensive boards as well. 6 points from Cameron Wilbon, 5 points from Jonah Jackson, all in the second quarter. 4 points from Marcel Cherry off the bench. 3 points apiece from James Walters and Malik McMillan. Merrillville is 6 of 9 from the free throw stripe and 1 of 6 from downtown. They finished that first half with 8 turnovers and 6 offensive rebounds. For the East Chicago Central Cardinals, as I said, also with 6 players in the scoring column. They were led in scoring by Jermaine Cousinard. He had 6 points. 5 points from Damian Jefferson. 2 of 2 shooting from the free throw line, 1 of 1 from behind the arc. He spent a lot of that first half on the bench with 2 fouls. 5 points from Keyshawn Lewis in the starting lineup tonight. 4 points from Edwin Wilson, as well as Charlie Cleveland. Elion Stubbs pitching in with 2 points. East Chicago had 7 turnovers, 5 offensive rebounds. Shooting, they were 6 of 10 from the free throw stripe and 2 of 7 from downtown, Mike.
Festive atmosphere over here at the Barado Center as right now some of the fans just trying to make baskets here from half court. We've got about 5 minutes remaining on the halftime clock before we start the second half. We'll take another 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and take a look at tonight's slate, not only in Northwest Indiana, but all across the state of Indiana. And then Chris Anzio will bring us back with our keys to the second half of action here, as East Chicago Central Cardinals certainly with some work to do as they trail the Merrillville Pirates by a score of 33-26 here at half on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports.
There's always one or two where we either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continue to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
UFC Daryl Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
At Horizon Bank, we're more than just your hometown bank. We're your neighbor, whether you're ready to get a loan for your next family vacation, that new car you've had your eye on, a much-needed renovation, your dream home, or your business. Trust the local lenders at Horizon Bank for the loan you need. Local people making local decisions. Visit HorizonBank.com.
Horizon Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
State Farm Insurance asks, what if you're walking out to your car and it's been mashed by a runaway garbage truck? Having a State Farm agent means having a real person to help you when things go wrong. So when accidents happen, you've got someone you know who will be there when you need them. In Hammond, Scott Angel at 6935 Calumet Avenue. Call Scott at 803-0669. And in Griffith, John Burris, CPCU at 437 North Broad Street. Call John at 934-9631.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back here to a very festive and very entertained crowd out here this evening as the Merrillville Pirates lead the East Chicago Central Cardinals 33-26 in this particular basketball game. East Chicago Central hung around there for a good part of the first half with their star player Damian Jefferson on the bench with those 2 fouls. And one of the things that we talked about, Chris, the dynamic duo of Cousinard and Jefferson, and they really haven't been on the floor that much to be able to take advantage of their athletic exploits.
You know, I really thought Jermaine Cousinard would try to take the game over a little bit with Damian Jefferson on the bench. I think Merrillville's done a nice job of making Jermaine feel very uncomfortable by running double teams at him as well as Damian Jefferson at times. And East Chicago's a little off balance because they don't know when that's coming. And I think Damian Jefferson came back in the ballgame in that second quarter after sitting there for a while, and he probably made himself a little uncomfortable with being a little bit over-anxious and forcing the ball to the basket the first 2 times he caught the ball. So the more that he gets in the flow of this ball game in the second half, the better off he'll be. And, you know, I never thought that you can keep both of those guys down Merrillville's done a nice job of that in the first half. We'll see if that could continue for the second half.
Our scoreboard update brought to us by the Foundations of East Chicago, an organization dedicated to supporting our community on and off the court through our academic scholarship programs, our grant programs for local charitable institutions and leadership. We here at the Foundations of East Chicago pour our hearts into making a positive impact on our community. For more information, please visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-E-C. Taking a look at games that were played earlier today, the Gary 21st Century Cougars are off to a nice start. They come up with an overtime win over Indianapolis Heron today in a high-scoring affair, 96-93. That was a final in that particular ball game. Some of the other action down in Gibson County in the Classic down there, the Castle Knights knock off Mount Carmel of Illinois by a score of 60-38. So a nice win there for the Castle Knights. They'll be taking on Evansville Rights as they advance in that particular tournament. In other action, Ron Colley knocks off Franklin County down in their tournament they're hosting, 50-45. That's a final. Over in the Summit Conference in Fort Wayne, Carroll knocks off Homestead 62-43. So a lot of tournament games going on across the state. Bowman Academy loses to Northwest Law in Missouri by a score of 76-72. So the Eagles get their wings clipped a little bit tonight.
Yeah, Gary 21st Century as well as Bowman Academy playing in the shootout at Indianapolis Manual today. Gary Roosevelt at 3-6 also in action at the same facility against Indianapolis Howe today. They come in at 4-2.
So, Chris, as we take a look at keys here to the second half, which is brought to us by Christensen Chevrolet. Check out Christensen Chevrolets during their Giant Model Year-End Sales event. Get great deals with no payments for 90 days and 0% financing for 72 months on several 2015 Chevy models, including the Trax, Malibu, Camaro, Equinox, Silverado, Impala, and Traverse. If you're looking for a used car, you can shop in comfort in their huge showroom with nearly 100 vehicles available. Driving the American dream and proudly serving you since 1951. Christensen Chevy, located at 9700 Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Their phone number, 888-999-9141. Their website is christensenchevy.com. And talking to Coach Turkovich before the ball game, Chris, he knew that Merrillville was going to be pounding the offensive glass with their physicality and athleticism. Unfortunately for East Chicago Central, number one, they haven't gotten a rebound to get the break going the other way, and number two, they haven't been able to beat Merrillville's defense down the floor.
Well, that starts with their defense on the half court. I think East Chicago's done a poor job containing dribble penetration as Merrillville has gotten to the basket pretty easily here in that first half, so I think East Chicago needs to shore that up a little bit. And, you know, the interesting change that Coach Turkovich made yesterday against Indianapolis Addicts, I thought Addicts got to the basket in that first half as well last night. East Chicago went and played a zone the whole second half, partly to help Jermaine Kuznard, who picked up his third foul early in that third quarter, but it kept Indianapolis Addicts off the free throw line that entire second half. It made them into a jump shooting team, and they knocked down a number of them. Merrillville came in only shooting about 34% from three-point range. They're only 1 of 6 for tonight from three-point range tonight, and they've gotten to the basket. I think that would be a smart change. It's not really in East Chicago's makeup that much, but you might see a little bit of that in the second half.
Right now, I don't think East Chicago has an answer defensively for Jarius Stevens. He's just a monster on that left wing.
At 6'4", with good size down low, good strength, as well as athletic ability. He's done a nice job getting into the lane, getting to the free throw line. He's finished a couple times while taking contact as well, not getting the call. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He's been the difference in the ball game right now.
Let's go ahead and take a final 2-minute timeout, and we'll come back with the second half tip. The score here at the end is 16 minutes of action. The Merrillville Pirates 33, East Chicago Central Cardinals 26 on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports.
State Farm Insurance Report reports that 1 in 3 drivers is cruising around in a state of skepticism about just how much value their car insurance company is delivering. If you're one of them, State Farm can help you get to a better state because they'll talk with you, listen to you, and help you put together a policy that has you written all over it. From cost to coverage, all backed by 24/7 customer support. In Griffith, Tom Jerome at 821 West 45th Street. Call Tom at 924-1199. In Griffith, Ken Weldon, 124 North Griffith Boulevard. Call Ken at 922-6200. And in Valparaiso, Rob Rudegas, 835 Lincoln Way. Call Rob at 476-7444. Get to a better state with State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is
Looking to start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? Enroll in Steelworker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with the leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today.
Welcome back here as we begin the second half of action. And I just found out from Hank Kylander, Chris, that Trayvon Smith not playing because of a coach's decision tonight. So that's why we have not seen number 3.
Yeah, he's a 5'10 senior. He's given good energy. He's been in that starting lineup for Coach Turkovich as well.
Our second half starting lineup is brought to us by Calumet College of St. Joseph. They have the lowest tuition of any private college in Indiana, offering traditional programs with flexible class schedules, accelerated programs to help adults earn their bachelor's degree in as little as 12 months, and master's programs specifically designed for working adults. Make CCSJ your university of choice. For more information on your future potential and upcoming spring enrollment, check out their website at ccsj.edu. So Kuznard, along with Lewis, start the second half in the front court for East Chicago, joined by Damian Jefferson, Allian Stubbs, and Charlie Cleveland. Merrillville counters now with Jonah Jackson, who missed the shot. Wilborn gets the rebound off the baseline. Got away with a little hop step there as they kick it back to DJ Wilkins. Skip pass on the play back over to Jay Squared. Now they got Jarius Stevens going back and forth. Also in there is Malik McMillan on the right wing. He gets the basketball. Now right side free throw line extended. Flash pass down to Jonah Jackson. Good skip pass over to Wilbon, and he got the kind roll.
That's just great movement without the ball. Cameron Wilbon's defender turned his head. He just made a little dive to the basket. He was wide open. Great touch on the inside.
So Merrillville now breaks out to their biggest lead of the evening at 9, 35-26 with 7:11 remaining here in the third quarter. Kuznard trying to cut it to 6, left it woefully short. Charlie Cleveland with an offensive rebound hoop. Charlie now with a half a dozen, and again giving East Chicago Central that inside presence that they sorely need. Stevens now drives on DJ, playing with the 2 fouls. Back over to DJ Wilkins. And he's able to pour in a 3-pointer for his first points tonight.
Oh, nice decision by Jarius Stevens. He had DJ on him. He drove on him.
Lewis's pass deflected away from DJ. Merrillville now with their biggest lead of the evening at 10.
Continue to make East Chicago look a little uncomfortable on the offensive end.
Jefferson return pass to Jermaine Kuznard. Give the assist to DJ. He's got 8. 38-30 Bucks. 6:24 remaining in the third quarter. Jarius Stevens now up high to Cameron Wilbon. Out in the twilight zone now to DJ. Wilkins trying to split the defense between the guards. Goes with the weave up top now to Jonah Jackson. Man-to-man defense for East Chicago as they trail it by 8, 2 minutes in to quarter number 3. We've got a great crowd on hand tonight here at the Barado Center. So glad you could join us here on RRSN.com. Weave up high. Stevens long three-pointer off the heel of the rim, and a reach-over foul going to be called on M-squared. Malik McMillan for Merrillville. That's his second.
Great job by Damian Jefferson getting position and boxing out there down low, just not using his athletic ability. Very fundamentally sound that time on the defensive boards.
Good job by not picking up his third foul on that drive on the right side of the lane, too.
He showed great quickness there to the baseline a couple possessions ago.
Now Kuznard, beautiful bounce pass down to Charlie. Got away with a travel, but then he missed the bunny. The rebound down now to DJ for Merrillville. Wilkins feeling it from the outside. Left it off the back of the heel, no good. Allian Stubbs comes up with the defensive rebound. Quickly up to DJ. He'll pop it for the tray. No good. And the rebound down to Wilbon. Quickly pass over to Jonah Jackson. Went behind his back to Stevens, but a foul on Kuznard before the dunk.
Again, quick three leads out to the breakout for Merrillville. They've shown a nice job to be patient at times tonight, but they'll take that break when presented. Certainly was presented to them that time.
And they have certainly taken advantage of some odd man breaks down the court here this evening. 5:16 remaining in the third quarter. Merrillville up by 8 as Kuznard got dribbled past his numerical counterpart Wilkins, who makes him pay.
He got away with that reach around to knock it out of bounds in the first half. If you don't get the ball, though, it becomes lazy defense. Nice job by Wilkins. Great body control in the mid-range jumper.
Once again, a 10-point deficit facing the 5-1 East Chicago Central Cardinals. You see their 5-game winning streak on the line here. Now a costly turnover on Stubbs. First miscue in the second half for the Cardinals. Top of the key it goes. Wilkins, little stutter step, takes it right to the rack on Stubbs. Got the rebound and put it up and in by Malik McMillan.
Just no energy right now for this Cardinals ball club on the defensive end. Once again, Wilkins goes right around Jermaine Kuznard without much effort there from the Cardinals.
DJ right now has been pretty quiet. They're going to clear it out for him. He got a half a step on the defense and drew the foul, and now that's 3 personals on Malik McMillan. That's going to get James Walters off the bench for Merrillville, and meanwhile Edwin Wilson will replace Stubbs for the Cardinals.
Certainly East Chicago's pretty potent offensively, but they're in a dangerous spot right now, down 12. Merrillville well in control of this ball game right now.
Cardinals with only 1 team foul here in the second half. Kuznard got the inbounds pass from DJ. Wilson tries to fill it up from the outside, and he does. He needed that one.
He's 2 of 2 now from downtown. Give him 7 on the night.
Halfway through the third quarter, and now beating the defense easily on the overplay there by Wilson, and putting up and in is Wilbon. He's entered double-digit land now with 10.
No help side defense that time for the Cardinals. Just an easy 2 for the Pirates.
Kuznard does a good job of drawing the foul on Stevens. That's his second, and Merrillville now starting to pile up the team fouls here in the middle part of the third quarter. 44-33 Merrillville, putting that number 2 ranking in Class 4A on the line here. Now DJ knifes through, got it stolen. Turnover number 9 for the Cardinals. Jonah Jackson missed the shot at the right elbow. Offensive rebound, put back and in by Jarius Stevens.
At least his 4th or 5th offensive rebound tonight. Great hands on the other end by James Walters to poke that free from Damian Jefferson.
I think we got a delay of game warning here on Merrillville. One more, of course, will result in a technical foul on the bench.
There's 3 different types of delay of games. He must have touched the ball out of the net that time after the score.
What are the other 2?
The other one I remember is if you break the plane, if they're taking the ball out of bounds. You could do that without getting a technical, but if they touch the ball again, if that indeed was the call, then it would result in a technical.
Keyshawn Lewis now with 7 with the left-handed dribble drive through the lane. Marcel Cherry getting set to come back in. Meanwhile, Walters is left alone, couldn't get it to go. Kuznard now doing the tightrope walk down the baseline with the rebound. Jermaine the other way, coast to coast, and he couldn't get it to go. But JC will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Centier is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success, not merely through business, but through philanthropy that extends throughout the communities it serves. As a family-owned bank, Centier stands firmly behind its not-for-sale promise, pledging to the families, businesses, and communities of Indiana that it'll continue to preserve independent, hometown banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank, member FDIC.
Wilkins picks up his third, joining Malik McMillan in some foul trouble for Merrillville. Edwin Wilson has 3 for the Cardinals. And once again, East Chicago Central not cashing in on their free throws.
So I guess the third delay of game would be not coming out of the huddle in time. If the officiating crew wishes to give you a warning.
East Chicago has now missed 5 free throws tonight. Kuznard now with 3 in the quarter, 9 in the game. 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Again, they leave Wilkins open in the corner. He can't get the 3 to go. Kuznard rips down the rebound for the Cardinals. Over to Lewis. Keyshawn quickly up and under, and he scores. Lead now cut down to 8. Back outside, trying to get it back to double digits, and that's a dagger there from Jarius Stevens.
Great answer that time by Stevens.
17 in the game for the senior.
Chicago desperately looking for a little energy here and a little life from their home crowd.
And they're getting it from Lewis. He misses the shot. Cleveland comes back with the offensive rebound. Charlie now with 4 in each quarter. Cherry comes back the other way, and no weak side defense for the Cardinals. Now Kuznard lost control of the ball as he was out of control. Turnover on the Cardinals. Cherry the other way in the corner for the 3. Leaving it short on the play was Walters. They're parking it in the lane. They should have a 3-second call down there, and now they finally miss it, and DJ gets fouled coming out of the defensive rebound.
Again, just too many easy looks for Merrillville on the offensive end. You had a couple Cardinals really walking back on defense that time.
I think that's what DJ's talking about, too. He's telling Charlie, I need some help on the glass. 51-40 Merrillville. 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter as DJ trying to fire up the Cardinals. Jamar Adams getting set to come back in for East Chicago. Kuznard with the long three-pointer, and he nailed it.
Maybe that'll get him going a little bit.
He's doubled his first half points here in the third quarter. East Chicago, every time they try to scale the mountain here at this deficit, Merrillville takes their fingers off the cliff. Stevens in the corner, shake and bake, move up and under, and drew the foul. And right now East Chicago Central cannot keep up with the zigzagging senior for the Bucks, and let's see what they called here.
Stepped out of bounds, I think.
Yeah.
He did take a big step. I knew he was close. Hard to see from this angle.
So they're going to call a turnover there, and that's certainly a big change of events there. 10 turnovers I got for the Cardinals, 9 now for the Bucks. 1:29 remaining in the quarter, 51-43, and now East Chicago with a chance to cut it to 6 or 5 with a three-pointer.
Big possession. Merrillville back man-to-man as they go with the double team on Damian Jefferson once again.
Lewis drew the foul. They're going to call no continuation, and that's a good call by the official. Unfortunately, we're not in the NBA. That's Ward's first personal, but now East Chicago's only one shot away from getting into the 1-and-1 here, Chris. Not sure if that's a good thing, though.
Right, the way they're shooting the basketball right now from the free throw line.
Kuznard in the corner, way off the mark. Rugby scrum on the floor, and the ultimate possession here will go to the Cardinals.
Great hustle by both sides. Edwin Wilson playing a nice game tonight. He was down on the ground that time with his numerical counterpart, Mitchell Ward.
Kuznard shooting that basketball off the side of the backboard, and a good job by East Chicago Central to come out of there with possession.
So Daniel Escalante calls the entire Merrillville group over to him, and Ray Dix does the same with the Cardinals.
Good job of keeping the lid on what's certainly a highly emotional ball game here. 1:11 remaining in the third. Central now with an opportunity to cut it to 6. They get it into DJ. He's going to try to cut it to 5. Couldn't get it done. And the ball goes out of bounds. Good job of blocking out there by Merrillville. As we talked about before, Chris, any team is going to let DJ take those shots from the outside all night long.
Yeah, if you're a Cardinals fan, you'd like to see him get to the basket a little more often, or at least with a little more effort and more consistent. He could have that shot anytime he wants it. in any possession.
1 minute remaining now in the third quarter. Merrillville up by 8 with the pumpkin. Jarius Stevens up high, guarded by DJ. Little shake and bake move at the right elbow. Out to Jonah Jackson. J squared couldn't get it to go. Jefferson way up for the rebound. DJ now back over the midcourt stripe. Into the corner they go to Keyshawn. Reverse layup is up and in. Keyshawn Lewis stepping up here in the third quarter.
He's in double digits now, Mike, with 11 points.
Back the other way comes Merrillville, and gliding in off the right side is Malik McMillan. He now has 7.
Chicago just needs to get it done on the defensive end this time. Every time they've had a big basket and the crowd starts getting into the game, easy 2 on the other end for the Pirates. Give credit.
There's been
to
a lot
Merrillville.
of those tonight.
Yeah, give credit to Merrillville. They're playing like a very mature ball club, very experienced ball club tonight.
TJ was really happy with the way his juniors have played, and of course with the senior leadership, that's a nice mix.
This is a group that opened up the year once again on the road at Southport. Tough place to play, great environment. At that time, Southport was number 1 in the state. 5 games later, Merrillville now number 2 in the state, still undefeated.
19 seconds remaining here in the quarter. 53-45, Merrillville with the lead on defense. Now we're down to 10 seconds remaining, and the Cardinals doing a lot of standing around. They go in the corner to Kuznar, and he tickled the twine from 23. He's got 15. And that will complete the third quarter of play, and that will certainly get the crowd up here as we get set to start the final 8 minutes of this ball game. Don't touch that laptop or electronic device. Merrillville 53, East Chicago Central 48. Back in 60 on RSN.com and the Regional Radio Sports Network.
State Farm Insurance asks, if you're feeling stuck in a state of compensation stagnation, another year with no raise, then let State Farm help you get to a better state with a discount double check that can stretch your hard-earned dollars a little farther. They'll go through your car insurance to make sure you're getting all the discounts you deserve. Discounts could add up to 40% and put a few $100 extra in your pocket. Discounts may vary state to state. In Dyer, Joe Lavasco, 1107 Sheffield Avenue. Call Joe at 865-6660. In Valparaiso, Greg Taylor, 390 West US Highway 6. Call Greg at 762-4911. And in Hobart, Danny DeTola, 8792 East Ridge Road. Phone Danny at 963-4444. Get to a better state with State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Attorney Lonnie Randolph supports his community by sponsoring a portion of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball on Regional Radio Sports and RSN.com. Attorney Randolph specializes in trial, criminal, civil, personal injury, and property issues. His law office is located at 1919 East Columbus Drive in East Chicago. For more information and to schedule an appointment, give Lonnie a call 219-397-5531. Merrillville turns it over again. 10 miscues now on the Bucks. Kuznar trying to take matters into his own hands. Couldn't get the little baby hook in the lane to go. And now Merrillville comes out on the break with Marcel Cherry coast to coast. He scored and he was fouled. The hoop to harm the foul. And Marcel Cherry looked like he was shot out of a cannon there. He's got 8.
A great floor balance. They had 4-on-1 basically, 4-on-2 that time for Merrillville. This spot is sponsored by Swartz, Retson & Company, a certified public accounting firm serving both businesses and individuals in Northwest Indiana over the last 80 years. Swartz Retson prides itself on being able to provide high-quality tax, accounting, and assurance services to Northwest Indiana at reasonable rates. Swartz Retson has helped clients through various changing economies and business environments over recent years. They strive to provide outstanding customer service to all their clients. Thanks for considering the professionals at Swartz Retson for your tax, accounting, and assurance needs.
Cherry could not complete the old-fashioned three-point play. 55-48. Wilson trying to cut the lead to 4, and he does! Edwin Wilson with his third try of the evening. He's got 10. Cherry comes back the other way. Put it on top of the Sunday with Marcel Cherry.
Yeah, just responding to the challenge off the dribble is Marcel Cherry right now in this fourth quarter.
Wilson tries to answer now off the left side. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound to the Bucks. Wilbon back the other way. Right side to DJ, and he got fouled by Jermaine as Kuznard got his fingers caught in the cookie jar, Chris.
Now is the time to visit Scapel Buick GMC in Merrillville. Check out the 2016 new and redesigned GMC Terrain and get 15% off MSRP on select Buick inventory like the 8-passenger 2015 Enclave. Introducing GMC, the next generation of professional-grade vehicles, and see why Scapel Buick GMC was named the Dealer of the Year for the 5th year in a row. Visit them at 3209 West Lincoln Highway, just 2 miles west of I-65 on US 30. Call 219-769-6381 or go online at scapelbuickgmc.com for more information.
DJ Wilkins makes the 7th free throw for Merrillville in 11 attempts tonight. And he's able to get them both. He's got 7. Boy, balanced scoring for Merrillville tonight. We got a timeout on the court with 6:56 remaining here in regulation. Merrillville 59, East Chicago Central 51. Today's broadcast of Cardinals basketball is brought to you in part by the Foundations of East Chicago. Whether on the court or in the community, the Foundations of East Chicago is committed to improving the quality of life for all East Chicago residents. We demonstrate the commitment through our scholarship programs, through financial support of local institutions like food pantries and churches, and by providing leadership and advice to help make our community the best that it can be. For more information, please visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-E-C.
Come see why Levin Tire and Service Center has the best tire prices and deals in Northwest Indiana. Right now, all tires are on sale, plus receive rebates up to $160. Levin's is more than just tires, though. They're a full-service auto center featuring alignments, batteries, belts, hoses, and brakes. They have 7 convenient locations in Northwest Indiana, open Monday through Saturday, with the Highland store also open on Sunday for your convenience. Check out their website at www.levintirecenter.com for valuable money and saving coupons, or call 1-800-475-5005 for more information. Since 1918, Levin Tire and Service Center has been earning your trust one day at a time.
Merrillville's had 7 players get on the score sheet tonight. East Chicago, 6. 6:47 remaining. Kuznard got a little bit too far under the basket on that one. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound down to the Bucks as Wilkins now brings it outside to get the return pass down low. Beautiful head and shoulder fake basket by Malik McMillan. He's got 9.
Well, once again, Pirates beating East Chicago down the floor.
Back to a double-digit deficit for the Cards, despite all the three-pointers from the outside for the red, white, and blue. 61-51 deficit. Now DJ looking for a flashing Kuznard. They get a little sloppy bounce pass inside and a reach-in going to be called on Cherry. That'll be their second, and that'll put the Cardinals to the line. 1 and the bonus, Chris.
Tech Credit Union can help you get the cash you need for home improvements, education costs, travel, or any other purpose. Unlock your home's equity with a home equity loan featuring a 3.99 annual percentage rate, 7-year repayment term, and no closing costs. Best of all, with a fixed rate, your monthly payment won't change during your loan term. To learn more, visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call them at 800-276-TECH. That's 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Rates may change without notice.
Stubbs made the first charity toss. He is not able to double his 2 points. The ball went out of bounds off Merrillville. So it will be East Chicago basketball, and a chance here to get a 3-point play the unorthodox way. 61-52 Merrillville with the lead. Lob pass goes on the baseline to DJ off the inbound from Jermaine. Return pass now to Damian Jefferson. Got a half a step on the defense. Little baby shot on the baseline is good. DJ gets his first point and first field goal since the first quarter. And now Mr. Escalante is going to call a foul on the floor on the far corner.
The Chicago players continue to bicker at each other a little bit as Merrillville continues to push the ball up the floor. Nice decision that last possession by DJ. Get things going for him. Only 7 points. We haven't said that very often at this time in the ballgame.
Pass goes inside to Jarius Stevens in an athletic move in the lane. He leads all scorers now with 19. They can't stop him. 63-54. Now Damien goes in the corner to Stubbs. He'll pop it over the defense, and he nails the tray. Merrillville now comes back the other way with an athletic shot. No good. Weak side rebound. Put up and in by Cameron Wilbon. He's got 12. And East Chicago, again, not back on defense.
Took a little bit of contact on the way to the basket that time as well.
8-point lead now for Merrillville, 65-57. East Chicago cannot afford to trade baskets at this point. 5:12 remaining in the ball game. Now DJ in the twilight zone. Man-to-man defense for Merrillville. He takes it to the rack and he scored. DJ now with 9, 4 in this quarter. 5 minutes remaining, and now the Cardinals have got to dig in right now and play some defense. We'll see how much gas is left in the tank. Wilbon now in the twilight zone at the volleyball line outside the Cherry. Merrillville now going to make him work on defense. Marcel got a half a step on the defense, one-handed shovel pass on the baseline, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Cleveland. That'll only be the 15th foul on East Chicago.
Interested to see here what Merrillville will decide to do. They go with a little bit smaller lineup. I think they'll just continue to spread the floor, maybe take some time off the clock here with 4:35 remaining, just a 6-point game.
But McMillan certainly a physical presence down low for the Pirates.
It's about as small as Merrillville goes right here with the 2 guards in there at 6 foot and 5'11".
Ball goes out of bounds. That ball was not touched by Stubbs on the play. And I think they're going to overrule him on this one, Chris. And if they do, it certainly is a good call by the officials.
That's why you got 3 of them out there. Great job by Christian Flores and Daniel Escalante that time, getting the call right.
Good job by Daniel to acquiesce there. So that's a huge turn of events as East Chicago is now within 6 halfway through the 4th quarter. Lewis knifes into the lane and he scores! 13 in the game for the junior. 65-61 Merrillville. Halfway through the 4th quarter. The Cardinals are back in it and they're getting the crowd back into it as well. Cherry now at the top of the key, drives it, rejected by Cleveland, but a foul called on C-squared, and that'll be his 3rd.
Albert's Jewelers is Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland's oldest and most trusted jeweler. Trust our family to offer you the highest and best prices for your unwanted jewelry, gold and silver coins, watches, and diamonds of all sizes. You'll be surprised how much it's worth at Albert's. We also buy gold and offer loans on jewelry up to $100,000. Albert's Jewelers has 2 locations to serve you at 711 Main Street in Cherryville and South Lake Mall in Merrillville. For more information, call the Merrillville store at 219-769-1976, the Cherryville location at 219-322-2700, or visit our website at www.albertsjewelers.com.
Cherry left the second free throw short, and a reach-over foul is going to be called on Stevens. And that will send DJ to the line. That's the 3rd personal now on Stevens. Attorney Lonnie Randolph supports his community by sponsoring a portion of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball and regional radio sports at RRSN.com. Attorney Randolph specializes in trial, criminal, civil, personal injury, and property issues. His law office is located at 1919 East Columbus Drive in East Chicago. For more information and to schedule an appointment, give Lonnie a call today, 219-397-5531.
DJ's done a nice job at the line this year.
And just as you say that, he misses it. But Keyshawn with a big rebound. Couldn't get the offensive board. Kuznard back the other way. Tipped up and in by Jermaine.
17 now for Kuznard. 3 attempts at the basket that time for East Chicago.
We got a 1-possession ball game, and now it's going to be, let's see what they're going to call here. They're going to say it's on the floor, and they're going to nullify the hoop. Wow. That's a huge play there because it's going to be, or will be, the 7th foul, though, on the Cardinals.
I believe they're giving him the basket. They talked about it a little bit. They're going to give him the basket.
So the basket to Wilbon. 14 points in the ball game, trying to make it the old-fashioned three-point play, and he does.
Another huge answer with a layup by the Pirates.
69-63 Merrillville. Now Lewis having some trouble in the backcourt. Got some help from Cleveland. Spinorama move, banked it up too hard, no good. Rebound to Stubbs. He scored. He was fouled. Allion Stubbs, the hoop, the harm, the foul. And a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 8.
East Chicago getting some nice contribution from guys they don't get it from very often. Stubbs with 9, Edwin Wilson with 10, and Keyshawn Lewis with 13.
What a ball game. 69-65 Merrillville. 3:19 remaining in regulation. Both teams are over the limit. And Stubbs now with a chance to pick up point number 9. And again, pull East Chicago within 1 possession.
That's 4 fouls now on DJ Wilkins for the Pirates.
Stubbs, eyes, flies, got it. He enters double-digit land, and now the crowd getting up on the play. 69-66 in favor of Merrillville. Wilbon, guarded by Stubbs up high, crossover dribble in the lane. They're going to call a bump on the play in the lane. And now free throws are going to start to come into play here in this basketball game down the stretch. That'll be the second foul on Stubbs.
Automasters supports their community by sponsoring a portion of today's game. They're located at 6817 Calumet Avenue in Hammond. And they are an ASC certified repair shop specializing in electrical, computer, brake, shock repair, and tune-ups. Automasters also does towing. For more information and to schedule an appointment, give Automasters a call at 931-2702. We're right in your neighborhood.
Stay tuned after the ball game. We'll name our Centier Bank performer of the ball game for both ball clubs. Wilbon couldn't get the front end, and Cleveland got the rebound for the Cardinals. A chance to tie it with a home run ball or get within 1. 3 minutes remaining. DJ, big shot, couldn't get it to go. He's able to tip it out to Lewis. In the corner to Stubbs. Elion for the tie. Couldn't get it to go. The ball went off of Merrillville out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cardinals. Good call. Stubbs got a good look there, Chris.
Yeah, he really did. He's been stroking the ball pretty good. DJ working hard on the offensive glass as well.
2:45 remaining in regulation. 69-66 Merrillville. Jermaine Kuznard, spinorama move, got his pocket stripped there by Cherry. Marcel back the other way, beautiful pass, the hoop, the harm, the foul, and the basket for Jarius Stevens. What a play by Marcel Cherry.
Well, it's been the Marcel Cherry show in transition this entire second half. Led the break again, Jarius Stevens with his 21st point, going to the line, working on 22.
Boy, Stevens, they just not have had an answer for that young man. And he completes the three-point play. He's now 5 of 6 from the line for his 22 points tonight.
Well, Cherry gives up a lot of size to Jermaine Kuznard, but uses his quickness.
Kuznard cuts the lead in half with a 3 of his own. He's got 20. Now a steal by Lewis. Took it up, and he scored! Coach Turkovich wants a timeout here, and he's going to get it with 2:11 remaining, and this place is up for grabs.
Well, they've been wanting to erupt this entire ball game. Finally have the opportunity to do it as East Chicago cuts the game to 1 point.
Boy, how about Keyshawn Lewis tonight, Chris? We have not seen this all year long.
Well, he just did an absolutely unbelievable job, basically playing free safety and reading the quarterback's eyes. As that was Mitchell Ward, instead of attacking the basket, he was looking backwards against that pressure. And Keyshawn Lewis noticed that early in that defensive possession, and he was just shot out of a cannon to get that steal.
The physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers of Franciscan St. Anthony Sports Medicine Institute offers professional level sports medicine and training for all athletes of all levels looking to return from an injury or improve performance. They're located at 12800 Mississippi Parkway in Crown Point, StAnthonySMI.com, or give them a call at 219-662-5555. 52-66. Now, what do you do here defensively, Chris, in this situation? Do you pick them up full court?
Right. Merrillville has done a nice job pushing the ball at you, but I think if you're East Chicago, you got the momentum. You got to pick them up a little bit, but you have to do a better job containing the dribble of Marcel Cherry.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely.
That young man's got some quicks.
And they're going to continue to have Keyshawn Lewis on him as well, and they're going to pick up man-to-man full court.
72-71 Merrillville. East Chicago has not led in this one for a long time, and they're going to call a holding foul on the inbounds pass on Lewis.
Kind of a peculiar timeout right there for Coach Turkovich as well. You have all the momentum. You cut it to one. Might have allowed Merrillville to kind of catch their breath a little bit and calm down, get their wits about them.
The problem is now is that every foul the rest of the way is going to be the double bonus here, so there's no pressure on the front end for Marcel Cherry. He's only 1 for 3 so far here today, and now 1 for 4. Big miss.
All coming in this fourth quarter.
72-71. Merrillville with the lead is Pete Turkovich telling everybody to box out. One more for the 5'11 senior. Bends the knees, eyes fly, and he got that one. Merrillville up by a deuce, 73-71, coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Lewis brings it up, right side to DJ. Damian Jefferson now at the right elbow, back over to Keyshawn, knifes through the defense, banked it up and gone! We're tied at 73! Second tie of the ball game, trying to break it from the left side of the Bucks. They can't get it to go. Now it comes off the left side, up and under for the hoop for Cameron Wilbon. He's got 17.
Big offensive board. I thought that was the first time Merrillville has rushed a shot this ball game.
They're going to call a foul on Kuznard as he backed it up and in. Tried to beat the double team and really didn't need to do so.
That was the first tie since it's been 17-17.
Jonah Jackson will come back into the game now for TJ Lux as they go defense for offense, or offense for defense. McMillan will take a seat. So Merrillville up by 2 now with the ball. 1:37 remaining in the ball game. TJ wants to take a timeout, and so will we. 1:37 remaining in the game. Merrillville 75-73 with the lead in the basketball on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports.
State Farm Insurance asks, what if your roommate, we'll call him Einstein, decides to microwave a metal mixing bowl full of cookie dough and sets your apartment on fire? State Farm has an agent for that. See your State Farm agent for auto, renters, frankly all kinds of insurance. Call them today. In Griffith, call Ron Pierce at 821 West 45th Street. Call Ron at 924-3311. In Crown Point, Bob Reese at 152 West Joliet. Call Bob at 663-7337. And in Portage, Brett Huber, 5474 U.S. Highway 6. Call Brett at 763-4236.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, Chris Adzia, what little money they make, the coaches are earning it tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I thought this had all the makings of Merrillville leaving East Chicago, in the win. East Chicago was showing no life. I was a little disappointed in their effort in answering the challenge that this Merrillville ball club brings to the table, but they were able to find some life, and they're on a big run here, and they turn the ball over.
Wilkins just lost the ball out of bounds. Great defense by Kuznard, and a costly turnover on the purple and black of Merrillville High School as Jackson now is replaced by McMillan.
Well, you want to get a real quality look right here if you're East Chicago. It doesn't matter if it's after 3 seconds or 30 seconds. With a minute 35, it's only a 2-point game. That's an eternity.
Jefferson gets the ball inbounds. DJ says clear out everybody on the baseline. He'll pop it from a bad angle. Couldn't get it to go. They try to keep it alive, and Stevens gets the rebound for the Bucks.
That was rushed a little bit there. He shot the ball from behind the backboard with the double team coming at him.
Jarius' pass almost stolen by Stubbs, and then a traveling violation called on Wilbon. 3 turnovers now in the fourth quarter on Merrillville.
Merrillville now losing their composure a little bit the last couple minutes. That's 2 turnovers in a row. You have the lead up 2. No need to rush to the basket.
75-73 Merrillville coming up on a minute remaining in regulation. Kuznar drives off the left side over to DJ. He's going to go up and under, and he scored, and we're tied at 75. And a foul in the backcourt, I believe, on East Chicago Central. Or maybe another delay of game. Let's see what they call here.
East Chicago slapped the ball, I believe. That would be a delay of game. It's Turkovich looking for another timeout.
Yep, they're going to call a warning on him there and slapping the basketball. So 58 seconds remaining. We've been tied 3 times tonight. The first time in this game since it was 17-17 way back when. And we'll take a 60-second timeout and come back. Merrillville and East Chicago tied at 75. 58 seconds remaining here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports.
At Horizon Bank, we're more than just your hometown bank. We're your neighbor. Whether you're ready to get a loan for your next family vacation, that new car you've had your eye on, a much-needed renovation, your dream home, or your business. Trust the local lenders at Horizon Bank for the loan you need. Local people making local decisions. Visit HorizonBank.com.
Horizon Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Looking to start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? Enroll in Steelworker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with the leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today.
Mike Knezovich, Chris Adzia, Ryan Knezovich back with the air. 58 seconds remaining. Full court pressure off of the Cardinals, Chris.
1-4 across for Merrillville. Someone will be open with Charlie Cleveland back as a safety.
They go ahead and get it in easily to Jonah Jackson. And J Squared will bring it up now in a tie ball game. Both teams now are over the double bonus limit. Jackson now brings it in on Cleveland. Man-to-man defense for East Chicago Central. Down to 43 seconds remaining. Marcel Cherry now on his numerical counterpart, Keyshawn Lewis. Merrillville 75, East Chicago Central 75. 30 seconds remaining, and everybody in the whole joint is on their feet. Here we go. 25 seconds remaining. Pete Turkovich telling everybody get down in their defensive stance. Down to 17 seconds remaining. TJ Lux giving out the instructions to Marcel Cherry. Merrillville 75, East Chicago Central 75. Cherry for the lead, couldn't get it to go. DJ got the rebound and then walked with the basketball with 4.3 seconds remaining. So Merrillville will get the ball back, and Coach Turkovich wants a timeout. Boy, certainly a huge effort there by Jefferson, but I think the coaches wanted an undercut there.
Yeah, they're looking for the foul, but if you don't think you got undercut, you have to call the travel. Bad break there for the Cardinals. Still 4.3 remaining for Merrillville with the ball underneath their own basket. East Chicago called their last timeout.
There's always one of the two. It's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continue to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Daryl Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Well, certainly, Chris, if you're Merrillville, 4.3 seconds is a long time, especially when you got the team here knowing that they can't foul.
Well, I think what you need to be careful of if you're East Chicago is the parting of the Red Sea. Merrillville ran a play earlier where they put 2 guys and they split them, and then they try to drag a 3rd guy into that opening after the split comes. But if you're East Chicago, if Merrillville's going to win this game, it's got to come from the outside. They can't give anything in the lane right now. It's not easy to make a shot from outside in this particular situation, as we just saw there. I thought Marcel Cherry got a good look at it. Tough to knock it down at the buzzer.
So here we go. Stubbs, Jefferson, Lewis, Cleveland, and Lewis. Check that, Couisnard on the floor. Now Merrillville wanted to see what East Chicago was going to come out with defensively, and they go ahead and burn another timeout with 4.3 seconds remaining, and East Chicago Central and Merrillville tied at 75. And Fife Funeral Home, located at 4201 Indianapolis Boulevard in East Chicago, has been a family-owned and operated business in Northwest Indiana since 1898. They offer cremation and burial services, and they also provide for funeral pre-arrangement and insurance needs. The phone number for Fife Funeral Home in East Chicago, 219-398-3210. Well, certainly our Foundations of East Chicago Game of the Week here on RSN.com is not disappointed. We have had in this ball game 5 lead changes and 3 ties, and you certainly have to tip your cap to East Chicago Central tonight, Chris. There was no quit in the home team.
No, there really wasn't. Things looked desperate for them for a little while in that third quarter and the beginning of the fourth, and what a fantastic way to start the holiday weekend.
It's SRO here with the far bleachers still up. And it's kind of a neat atmosphere here, seeing the fans above the basket where all the action is happening here to our right. So here's the reset. Both teams are in the double bonus. 75-75 tie, 4.3 seconds remaining. Merrillville comes out now with Wilbon Cameron inbounding the basketball.
Chicago man-to-man.
They go with a flash pass inside, having some trouble getting it in on the play, and TJ is able to bail him out. Now keep in mind, Chris, it's my understanding that if you don't get that timeout within 4 seconds, you can't take it, right?
It depends on the official.
Right.
But by rule, that's how it's supposed to be enforced. Nice job by Merrillville. They know they're running a play. They haven't had a couple timeouts to burn yet, and they're going to take it.
It looked like they had number 3, Jonah Jackson, breaking to the basket. Financial support for this terrific ball game tonight is provided by the Foundations of East Chicago. They are dedicated to helping our community through our grant programs, academic scholarships, and overall leadership initiatives. They have dedicated themselves to uplifting, inspiring, and empowering all the residents of East Chicago, moving together towards a bright future. The Foundations of East Chicago, we're in and on your corner. For more information, visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-EC. So here we go again. 4.3 seconds remaining. 75-75 tie. Merrillville stacking it up. 4 straight on the left side. They get it into Stevens. Back outside. Long desperation 3. And we are headed to overtime. Well, that was kind of a curious set there, Chris, because they had everybody on one side of the floor unless they didn't get the right cuts off of that stack there.
Well, they tried to get the inbound player stepping right in. I thought East Chicago did a nice job both of those times in defense.
So we are going to have an extra session out here today. What a terrific comeback for the East Chicago Central Cardinals. They outscored Merrillville in the fourth quarter by 10 to tie it up.
Strong fourth quarter by Damian Jefferson with 6 points. Alion Stubbs, a better fourth quarter with 7 points. And Keyshawn Lewis was huge with a couple driving baskets to the basket. He had 6 in that fourth quarter. Has 17 on the night. Jermaine Couisnard has 20. Jarius Stevens has 22 to lead all scorers for Merrillville.
You got Wilbon with 17.
Marcel Cherry with a strong second half. He now has 12 points on the night.
We got East Chicago 9 of 15 from the line with 13 turnovers. Merrillville with 12 miscues tonight. Merrillville shot 10 free throws there in the fourth quarter. They'd missed 7 free throws tonight.
What do you have them from the line, Mike?
I got them 12 and 19, but that's very unofficial.
That's what I have them for as well.
So a fresh 4 minutes on the clock now in overtime. tied at 75. So number 2 Merrillville now on the road, trying to escape here with their lives as the East Chicago Central Cardinals outscore them in the fourth quarter of play, 27-22. 3:26 remaining in the extra session. Nobody right now has 4 fouls, so everybody's got a foul to give here.
Merrillville 3 of 15 from three-point range tonight. East Chicago 8 of 18. And as often happens after a ferocious comeback by East Chicago, things have come to a halt here in the overtime.
TJ Lux is kind of saying, you know what? You're going to have to come out and play us, so we're just going to milk this clock all the way down.
And they've been able to beat East Chicago off the dribble tonight and get to the basket.
Stubbs has got, if he can creep up a little bit here, he could start that 5-second call, and he does.
The thing here, if you're Coach Lux, you can't lose if you have the ball, you know. East Chicago cannot score if they don't have the ball, so you might as well keep possession. If they're not going to come out and play you, there's no reason to rush.
Now off the right side with the basketball is Wilbon. Good job by Stubbs. Little hesitation move. Took it into the lane. Banked it up. No good. Cleveland rips down the rebound for the Cardinals. Great defense by Elion Stubbs.
Well, nice job. Merrillville kept the ball, or kept the middle of the floor wide open for a drive just like that. Got a decent look, but East Chicago raced
Kuznard for the lead, and he got it! That's a deuce! That's a deuce! He's got 22. We've got another lead change, half a dozen tonight. And now Merrillville's going to have to do something here as they try to beat the double team. Pass goes inside to Stevens, took it up, he scored, he was fouled! Jarius Stevens, the hoop, the harm, the foul! And a chance for the three-point play in the lead.
Well, Merrillville's done a nice job going right to the rack after East Chicago has scored all night. Once again, that time they didn't slow things down. They attacked the basket right away. Stevens with 24.
Jefferson commits his third foul. So Jarius now trying to break the tie, 77. Stevens has done a great job on the line tonight, 5 of 6. He's got 24 to lead all scorers, and he now has 25. 7th lead change of the ball game. 1:39 remaining. East Chicago trailing by 1 now. Kuznard for the lead, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound comes down to Wilbon. He got a good look there.
Well, I don't mind Kuznard taking that shot, but you'd like to see a little ball movement and that shot coming, a little bit better flow over the offense.
Now Lewis is going to go ahead and put number 1, Marcel Cherry, on the line. Cherry tonight is only 2 of 5.
Marcel Cherry at the line for the Pirates.
He'll get 2 shots here. Both teams are in the double bonus. First free throw, no good, so the strategy works. Cherry now only 2 of 6 from the line.
You see him short-arming the ball a little bit too, not a true follow-through. You want full extension with that shooting arm. He's a little short on it. That was better.
Yeah, that time he got some nice rotation and was able to get it. He's got 14. 79-77. Cardinals can go right to the rack here with $1:18 remaining.
Oh, you called it, Mike. They need to get to the basket here.
Pete Turkovich will take a timeout. That'll give us an opportunity to thank some of the folks that are making this thriller possible here on Regional Radio Sports. 79-77. Merrillville with the lead, 1:15 remaining in overtime.
Score big with a low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card that can help you take charge of those long-awaited projects or cover unexpected emergency needs. It not only comes with a low rate, but offers everything you need, including no annual fees, no balance transfer fees, easy cash advances at ATMs, and much more. Don't miss out on a good play. Take charge of those projects and score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card. Learn more and apply today at tcunet.com/credit cards.
Looking to start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? At Enroll in Steelworker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with a leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today.
Still plenty of time for the Cardinals here, Chris. No need to rush things here. You're only down by a deuce.
No, I'd like to see a little bit of ball movement here by the Cardinals, a couple passes, and then attack the basket. Lately, it's been one-on-one, and when you have all 5 defenders staring at the man with the ball without any ball movement, it's tough to get to the basket.
1 minute remaining in overtime. East Chicago Central trailing by 2. Stubbs off the left side. They post DJ down low. They triple team him. Back out to Stubbs. Got a good look. Couldn't get it to go. And the rebound comes down to Stevens for Merrillville. Jarius now goes off the left side to Cameron Wilbon. He's guarded by Lewis now with 48 seconds remaining in overtime. Back out high, and now reach-in foul going to be called on Kuznard, and that was not the guy you wanted to foul.
Wilbon's only been to the line 2 times tonight, both in the fourth quarter, where he's 1 for 2.
That's the 4th personal foul now on Kuznard, so he's going to have to be careful the rest of the way. Wilbon with 17 in the game.
I'd have taken a little extra time to try to get the ball, or let the ball get back over to Marcel Cherry and foul him once again. Wilbon's able to connect on the first.
Now here's the big one here that can make it a 2-possession game. Still plenty of time, 46 seconds remaining. Merrillville up 80-77. Missed the second one. It's a 1-possession game.
Don't need a 3 yet.
Now Lewis got his pocket picked. A turnover now on the Cardinals again. Costly mistake there. Down on the baseline they go, little spinorama move, and Stevens puts it up and in. Ice water in the veins, and now you're in trouble. You're down by 5 with 24 seconds remaining.
Didn't really need it, but if you're going to do it with confidence, and Jarius Stevens certainly did that.
Taking it all the way was DJ. He got fouled on the drive, but now time becoming the enemy here of the Cardinals. The foul will be on McMillan, his 4th.
East Chicago should be out of timeouts at this juncture. Use their extra timeout already this half, or this overtime.
I don't know. A lot of folks are leaving for the exits here. I wouldn't do that right now. Not the way this one's been going.
Those are the folks that still need to do a little Christmas shopping, Mike.
So 82-78 after the free throw by DJ. He's got 12. Meanwhile, one more free throw makes it a 1-possession game. And now the question's going to be, is Marcel Cherry going to be back on the floor? I'll say probably not.
Well, he's done a nice job handling the ball. It's a 3-point game. If DJ makes this shot, he split the last 2. He looked much better on that last one. If he could go to the free throw line with some confidence and at least make 1 of 2, that'll do it. Got to check out here if you're Merrillville on a missed free throw.
Damien's 3 for 3 tonight from the line. East Chicago Central now 10 of 16 from the free throw line.
Cherry is in the ball game.
Merrillville now is 15 of 24. So a huge free throw here for DJ to try to cut it to a 1-possession game, looking for his 13th point tonight. Eyes, flies, missed it. Long rebound goes off of Merrillville when they run out of real estate. It'll stay with East Chicago. Unbelievable.
Well, that's exactly what you couldn't let happen if you're Merrillville. They were in position to get it, just couldn't squeeze it.
Kuznard gets it into Cleveland. 13 seconds remaining. DJ for 3. Got it! DJ's 3-pointer gets East Chicago within 1. And then a foul going to be called here, I believe. No, a timeout.
That'll be their last timeout. Now they're going to need to get the ball in against some ferocious pressure from East Chicago.
All of a sudden, all the holiday shoppers stopped in their tracks, Chris. 82-81. Now you can play 2 for 1 here if you want to. You're going to have to, if they get the ball inbounds, you got to foul right away.
I'll tell you what, East Chicago's coaching staff has had a dialogue with every coaching member has had a dialogue during timeouts with these officials. I have no idea what they're complaining about. I think they're looking up at the clock, want a little bit more time.
Right now, there's 5 seconds remaining in overtime. After the 3 by DJ, it's 82-81 Merrillville. Both teams are in the double bonus. I think if you're East Chicago, you got to play it straight on defense. You almost have to try to possibly draw an offensive foul.
You have to deny the ball. You don't double team because that leaves somebody open. So you want to stay glued to your man, and you have a green light to be ultra physical.
Do you guard the inbounds pass?
Yeah,
that's the question.
You could keep a center fielder, I think, to take away the lob pass over the top, but you want to deny, and you want to be physical in your denial. Get a hand on the hip. Don't lose your man. Stay glued to him. If the officiating crew wants to call a foul before the ball gets in, that's fine because you don't lose any time.
They're going to keep the clock at 5 seconds. We're in overtime, 82-81 Merrillville. And Merrillville inbounding the basketball.
You get a hand on the hip and grab some jersey if you have to.
They got Charlie Cleveland playing defense back there, Chris. I don't know about that. I mean, you're losing a defender back there.
He needs to get a little bit closer. He's all the way back past half court. You want to get up there and play a little bit, of a tight safety type position if you decide not to go on the ball.
Yeah, Judah Parks telling him to push up a little bit.
Still back there a little bit.
5 seconds remaining. Merrillville gets it inbounds over to Wilkins, and he gets fouled on the play by DJ. 3.1 seconds remaining. And now the Bucks will go to the line, and they're shooting 2.
That's just way too easy right there. Merrillville did a nice job breaking to the ball. East Chicago just needs to be a lot more physical in their denial of the basketball there.
Yeah, you'd almost think they would try to front him and then use Cleveland as the backdoor safety valve there.
If you don't put a man on the ball, you have to front. If you put a man on the ball, then you go on the side of him. So you don't get beat deep, you don't get beat forward.
So Wilkins now with 2 free throws here. It's 82-81 Merrillville. Eyes, flies, got the first one. Either way, it's still only going to be as 1 possession game. East Chicago would have a chance. Now, do you purposely miss this one?
No, because a desperation shot then beats you rather than ties you, in my opinion.
So let's see now if he tries to make it a 3-point game. And he does. So here we go. They inbound the basketball. DJ for the tie. Can't get it to go. And the Merrillville Pirates have come out here with the victory this evening as they win the basketball game in overtime by a score of 84-81. What a ball game out here tonight. And the Merrillville Pirates will retain their number 2 ranking in the state of Indiana as they will come out of here with a record of 6-0. And the East Chicago Central Cardinals had their 5-game winning streak snapped as they now will fall on the campaign to 5-2. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with our final stats, and we'll name our Centier Bank performers of the ball game following this thriller here at the John A. Barrato Center tonight. 84-81, Merrillville over East Chicago on RRSN.com in the Regional Radio Sports Network.
At Horizon Bank, we're more than just your hometown bank. We're your neighbor. Whether you're ready to get a loan for your next family vacation, that new car you've had your eye on, a much-needed renovation, your dream home, or your business. Trust the local lenders at Horizon Bank for the loan you need. Local people making local decisions. Visit HorizonBank.com. Horizon Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Get to the top, get hooked in, and then you looked over the edge. I was like, no way am I jumping off this tower. I'm staying right here. I'm like, am I ever going to be good enough to be a Marine? When it was all said and done, watching the car guard raise the American flag, I thought, I am a United States Marine.
PFC Keith Balkan knows you don't join the Marines, you become one. Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
To start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? Enroll in Ford Steel Worker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with the leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today.
Well, the crowd here, the holiday crowd filing out here of the John A. Barato Center, and they certainly saw a dandy out here tonight. Both of these ball clubs and all the student athletes putting it on the line for more than 32 minutes tonight. They ended up having to go to the extra session, and the Merrillville Pirates are able to come up with the victory by a score of 84-81 in overtime. Great comeback by East Chicago Central in the second half. Merrillville led it 13-10 at the end of the first quarter. Thanks very much, Dave. It was 33-26 Merrillville at the half. So the Bucks led it by 7. East Chicago Central outscored Merrillville in the third quarter 22-20 to cut the lead down to 5 at 53-48. And then East Chicago Central with a huge fourth quarter in this basketball game was able to tie the ball game up at 75 as they had 27 points in the fourth quarter to Merrillville's 22 to be able to take over or tie this ball game up before the Merrillville Pirates were able to outscore them in the overtime by a count of 9-6 to win the ball game 84-81. Chris Adzia, you got our final numbers.
Well, they look this way for the victorious Merrillville Pirates. They were led in scoring by Jarius Stevens. He had 27 points on the night. He was 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 18 points by Cameron Wilbon, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. 13 points for Marcel Cherry. He only had 4 at halftime, and he did a nice job handling the ball tonight in that second half versus the East Chicago pressure. That gives Coach T.J. Lux 3 players in double digits. They also got scoring contribution from a pair of players in the starting lineup with 9 points apiece. That was D.J. Wilkins and Malik McMillan. 5 points from Jonah Jackson and 3 points from James Walters. Merrillville ended the ball game 17 of 26 unofficially from the free throw line, 3 of 15 from three-point range. For the East Chicago Central Cardinals, they fall to 5-2 after playing the number 2 team in the state tonight. They were led in scoring by Jermaine Kuznard with 22 points. They had 3 other players in double digits. Mike Keyshawn Lewis with a huge night tonight, who is inserted into the starting lineup. The 6'3 junior had 17. Damian Jefferson, 15 points, and Edwin Wilson off the bench had 10 points on 3 of 3 shooting from behind the line. 9 points from Elion Stubbs. East Chicago finished the ball game 10 of 18 from the free throw line, 9 of 22 from three-point range. Both teams had 12 offensive rebounds, which is always a key stat I like to look at. And both teams unofficially, at least on my score sheet, had 13 turnovers. I might have missed a few late there, Mike.
Well, I tell you what, the pace in this one was fast and furious down the stretch, so certainly understandable to miss a play or two here and there. But what a great job by both of these ball clubs. Is certainly a situation here, Chris, where we could have a potential rematch in the regional coming up in March.
Yeah, no doubt. East Chicago looks to be the favorite in their sectional here on their home floor. Merrillville will play at Crown Point. They'll have stiff competition over there, but at least early on in the year, they look to be the favorite in that sectional too.
Of course, Merrillville still behind North Central. The Panthers are the top dog in the state of Indiana. But I tell you what, this Merrillville team certainly very athletic, very talented, and very deep.
Well, they're very deep, and we really saw tonight what Coach Lux was talking about in his pregame interview with you. He said this team provides him a lot of flexibility on the defensive end. They don't have anybody real big. They don't have great size, but they have real solid size throughout their lineup. They only play 2 kids under 6'2". That's Marcel Cherry and James Walters. Both of those young student athletes are strong enough to play bigger bigger people. We saw Marcel Cherry and James Walters at one point on Damian Jefferson, Charlie Cleveland, and Jermaine Cousinard, the three biggest players for East Chicago.
Time now to name our Centier Bank performers of the ballgame. Centier is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success, not merely through business, but through philanthropy that extends throughout the community it serves. As a family-owned bank, Centier stands firmly behind its not-for-sale promise, pledging to the families, businesses, and communities of Indiana that it will continue to preserve independent hometown banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank, member FDIC. Chris, what do you think here after this overtime thriller? Won by Merrillville, 84-81.
Well, I think for the East Chicago Central Cardinals, Mike, we saw the coming out party for Keyshawn Lewis. He's really made a statement to stay in that starting lineup after being inserted into the starting lineup tonight for the first time. He had 17 points, 8 field goals from the field, and he was the key to that comeback. He had some driving baskets in that fourth quarter that were really big. He had 12 points in the third and fourth quarter. And for the Merrillville Pirates, Mike, Jarius Stevens, a 6'4 senior, 27 points on the night, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 1 of 4 from the three-point stripe, and a whole handful full of rebounds.
So our Centier Bank performers of the ballgame, Jarius Stevens for the Merrillville Pirates, as the young man doing a terrific job tonight with those 27 points, including many that were answers to East Chicago Central offensive breaks. The 6'4 senior gets the honors for Merrillville. Also did a great job from the free throw line as well. And for the East Chicago Central Cardinals, their 6'3 junior Keyshawn Lewis, 17 points, including 12 in the fourth quarter play. And certainly, Chris, I thought that he was a lot more aggressive. Everything was kind of on the perimeter in the first few games of this season, but he really took it to the rack tonight.
Yeah, he really did. Nice adjustment. We've seen East Chicago as a ball club do that throughout the course of a game, where they come out in the first quarter and shoot a lot of deep threes, and then as they get into the flow a little bit, realize we need to start attacking the basket. Well, we saw that again tonight, and I thought really the key of the ball game throughout was East Chicago's transition defense, or the lack of transition defense, where East Chicago would score and then Merrillville would give a good push on the dribble and go down and score layup after East Chicago scores.
Well, no chance to wallow in your pity, as they say, so to speak, because the Yellow Jackets from Louisville Central in Kentucky come a-calling here on Monday after the Christmas weekend, Chris, and had a chance to visit with Brandon Hill, their assistant coach, earlier today, and he mentioned that they played the number 1, number 4, and number 6 teams in the state of Kentucky in a recent tournament. They come in at 4-4, but don't let the record deceive you.
Well, they're certainly not going to come in here and be intimidated by the East Chicago athleticism and so forth. And right now, if you're East Chicago, you have an opportunity to probably have a couple days off and then come back and get a couple good practices in before that game on Monday night.
So our next broadcast here on RRSN.com will be on Monday, and that is next weekend after the Christmas holiday. Of course, everybody have a safe and wonderful holiday. Wish you safe travels out there if you are heading to see family around the area as well as throughout the state. That game, I believe, is scheduled for a 7:30 start on Monday the 28th with a 7 o'clock pregame show. Then East Chicago goes down to the North Central Tournament, Chris, on the 29th and the 30th, before Lawrence Central comes in here for a 3:30 matinee on Saturday the 2nd. So this team can go one of two ways here, especially after a disappointing loss. But, they're going to be competitive and they're going to be grinding it out.
Yeah, they'll have to find a way to answer the challenge for 32 straight minutes. I thought there were times tonight where they seem a little bit disinterested in rising to the challenge, and all of a sudden they woke up and you see how potent that they can be. But they'll play Centerville from Ohio in that North Central tournament on the 29th, and also in that tournament is Fishers and North Central, obviously highly ranked, and as you said, Lawrence Central, they're in the top 10 as well, 6-1 coming into the week, and East Chicago is going to play a lot of good teams, and certainly expect them to do that. And Merrillville has some tough opponents coming up as well. On the 29th, they'll go to Columbia City and Huntington North, combined tournament of 24 teams where they'll play Norwell. Also in that 24-team field is Lake Central, New Haven, Columbia City, Huntington North, South Bend Riley, and South Bend Washington.
Local teams of interest here as we get set to wrap it up. Gary 21st Century knocks off Indianapolis Heron tonight, 96-93 in overtime. Northwest Law of Missouri edges Bowman Academy, 76-72. Lighthouse CPA loses to Traders Point Christian tonight by a score of 61-56. In some of the tournament action as well, in local interest games, Gary Roosevelt is playing Indianapolis Howe tonight. That was the other local team that was in action in the ball game. Calumet went down playing Greensburg down in the Milan tournament, and Greensburg won that ball game. Greensburg, kind of a perennial powerhouse in the lower rankings. They knock off the Warriors tonight, 57-44. Roncalli beat Franklin County 50-45, and in the Summit Conference tournament in Fort Wayne, Carroll knocked off Homestead tonight by a score of 62-43. Chris, final thoughts?
Well, this was an exciting game, Mike. We thought this would be a marquee matchup, coming into the year. And as things kind of sort themselves out, we knew it was after we saw both teams play earlier in the year. And certainly they didn't disappoint, 84-81. East Chicago just put up 81 points on a team that came in only giving up 43 on the year. Kudos to both of these ball clubs. I thought Merrillville played very like a veteran ball club for a good portion of that ball game. They slowed it down, took their foot off the gas a little bit, and wavered just a little bit, but they were able to hold on late. Kudos to Coach Lux and the Merrillville Pirates.
Once again, special thanks go out to Trina Cavazos, the athletic director here at East Chicago Central High School. Thanks as well to the two head coaches, TJ Lux of the Merrillville Pirates, as well as Pete Turkovich of the East Chicago Central Cardinals for pregame interview accessibility and statistics prior to tonight's ball game. So our next broadcast here on RRSN.com will be on Monday, December 30th. Pregame show at 7 with tip-off at 7:30 as the East Chicago Central Cardinals host the Yellow Jackets from Louisville Central High School in Kentucky. We want to thank our season sponsors of our award-winning and positive promotion and coverage of student-athletes on regional radio sports. They include State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. ArcelorMittal, guiding the evolution of steel and creating opportunities in the industry to redefine excellence and transform tomorrow. Scapel Buick GMC on West Lincoln Highway on Route 30 in Merrillville. Centier Bank, independently owned and operated with 44 Northwest Indiana locations. The United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. Albert's Diamond Jewelers of Cherville, Indiana, with over 100 years and simply having the largest selection of brilliant diamonds in the Midwest. Teachers Credit Union, providing many products and services that can keep your finances on track. Check them out online at tcunet.com. Levin Tire, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918. Schwartz Retson & Company PC, an accounting firm on East 86th Avenue in Merrillville. Horizon Bank, exceptional service and sensible advice. Christensen Chevrolet on 45th and Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Also by Tech Federal Credit Union for a great rate and convenient terms on a vehicle, home, personal, and business loan. It's Tech Federal Credit Union. Want to thank our corporate partner of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball. That's the Foundations of East Chicago, making a difference in people's lives by believing in trust, accountability, honesty, integrity, and responsible stewardship. Check them out on the web at foundations-e-c.org. Today's game also brought to you in part by Fife Funeral Home on Indianapolis Boulevard in East Chicago. Family owned and operated since 1898. Attorney Lonnie Randolph on Columbus Drive in East Chicago. Also Calumet College of St. Joseph, your university of choice for degrees in forensic science, restorative ecology, exercise and sports sciences, and pre-professional life science on the web at www.ccsj.edu. By Automasters, an ASC certified repair shop on Calumet Avenue in Hammond. Automasters are right in your neighborhood. And finally by Sports Medicine Institute on Mississippi Parkway in Crown Point. All proud supporters of student athletes here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports. So for Chris Adzi and Ryan Knezovich, this is Mike Knezovich saying so long from the John A. Barato Center on the campus of East Chicago Central High School. Well, in a thriller tonight in overtime, the Merrillville Pirates improved to 6-0 on the 2015 and 16 campaign, and they solidify their number 2 ranking in the state of Indiana with a thrilling 84-81 victory over the East Chicago Central Cardinals. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe, Merry Christmas and a great holiday season, and we'll talk to you next Monday right here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports, your ticket to the best seat in the house since 1992. Good night, everybody.